We're done with that though. Jump rope. Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a diehard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chiggeroo-ga-rim, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar.
If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as theirs makes no difference from raw egg whites. It's disgusting, the taste is vile, and it smells, but 100. Yeah, my poor roommate has to deal with the farts that come from this, and as you might imagine, they're not pleasant. But let me go ahead and knock this bad boy down. Oh, that's vile. Yep, nice and easy. We're done with that though. Jump rope. Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a diehard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chiggeroo-ga-rim, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. Alright, let's do one more bronze bar.
If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome on in. Welcome. My name is BullMuscle. Today, we're going to hit push day. Got a few, oh wow, we got a few people already talking. That's lovely. Share 1000, good to see you as always. Gay Boy, Big Red, always good to see y'all. Crash Override, yeah, you're the first indeed, before bed. Obviously, it's always good to see you. Nero, good to see you as well. And W. Ramir, the guy I rated yesterday, good to see you. Yep, I got the Mohawk rolling. So let's stand by. There we go. All right, so today we're gonna do dumbbell bench. We haven't done that in a little while, and then probably incline press. I also got a new set of kicks, so nice. They're just basic. Actually, they're not even Chuck Taylor's. They're the cheap Walmart knockoff brand. So we're gonna see how their torture test begins now. Effectively, we're gonna see just how good these actually are. Anyway. Getting too fancy with it. Predictably. Very warm in here. Both my roommate's car and my car were in here. And that has kept the temperature rather elevated. So take this off. We'll keep an idea of what the temperature's doing. Oh, the Padres are free falling? Yikes. The Swifties in Cincinnati? What, did Taylor Swift have a concert there? All right. You're gonna just start with a little basic warm up. Nothing crazy. Just some 30s. This isn't even counting as a set. This is us just sort of warming up, getting ready to dive into it. Oh. Well, but so what? It's a Taylor Swift concert. She'll be gone in a day or two. And you'll have Great American Ballpark back to yourself. Oh, get that nice and deep, really stretch it out. A little higher, a little lower. There we go. Full range of motion. That ought to do. While we're doing this, we'll set up incline. Actually, maybe I want to do shoulder press first and then do incline after. Yeah, maybe that's the move. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. There we go. So we'll go ahead and get our notebook up. Guess what day it is? The 1st of July? I know what day it is. Come on. It's Bobby Bonilla Day. Tree Court has reopened, and everybody's celebrating it over there. I'm very keenly aware of what today is, and I'm awaiting the inevitable Tree Lowell Mets video because speaking of teams that are free falling, I will never. They are the greatest comedy show in baseball, right? The Athletics are a tragedy. The Mets are a comedy. All right, so I think we're gonna set the dumbbells to 90. We can. How are you gonna behave today? There we go. One. You're just not gonna behave today, are you? Come on. Get on in there. There we go. Got it. It's always a pain in the ass to get it on the bottom rung for these. I trade Nolan Ryan for hot garbage. You are to be mocked. Facts. Cannot deny that. Absolute facts. There we go. That's a little bit better. I see we already have 15 people in chat. That's fantastic. So y'all have already earned raw egg whites. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually going to be meeting Tom Seaver for even more. Yeah. It's again, the Mets are a comedy act. The Mets are absolutely a comedy act. Let me get a little music going here. But let's start off. Yeah, we're gonna start off the bench. We go from there. If we hit 30 viewers in chat, as always, let me know because then y'all will have earned handstand push-ups. All right, so let's go here. Audio. Ooh, there we go. Pat Benatar. Let's go Heartbreaker. Wait a minute. Okay, cool. It's connected. Do not really feel like getting DMCA'd right out of the gate. That would not be fun. All right. There we go. Yeah, you should be able to see this. 2, 3, 4. That's 15. Not bad. Hey, good to see you, Bobby. Luigi wins by doing nothing meme. It's not that the Mets win or lose. It's how they win or lose. That's what truly makes the Mets a comedy act. All right, so I think we're gonna try 150 for shoulder press today. We'll see how that goes. This is 125, so we need... Actually, I'm feeling a little bit adventurous. Let's try 155. By the way, yep, got some new kicks. Yeah, we'll see how those go. I like that they feel flat. Oh God, I've already scuffed them up to shit and back. That was fast. No, this is shoulder press. We'll hit that in a little bit. We're gonna hit dumbbell bench one more time first. Good to see you, Capro. Let me go ahead and there we go. So. Yeah, I watched a part of it. I didn't get to all of it. There was a lot of stuff I've been meaning to catch up on and watch. The first thing I noticed, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna do a set, and then I'll get into this. What you're asking me about, Bobby, because that is worth talking about. The first one was I went back and watched my VOD of yesterday's workout, and what was interesting was that I was hitting parallel more often deeper in my set than at the beginning of my set. And what that tells me is that I've got the strength to do it all and do it all correctly, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to rush through it, and that's not good. So I am going to swallow my pride a little bit, go down in weight maybe a little bit, or go down in reps. Honestly, I feel like at 315, I just need to be repping maybe sets of 7 to 8 for now and not 12, but doing every single one slowly, breath, 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 rep all the way down to parallel and back up. Because there were several reps there where I was an inch or two above parallel, and that's not what I want. So, hey, Christy, welcome back. Been a minute. I guess you chose to refollow. I remember you. Welcome back. Found your way back here, didn't you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get another song going. Here we go. There we go. Honestly, with dumbbell bench, half of the struggle is getting the weights up to start. Your biceps are always incredible. Well, I appreciate that. I'm actually not working them today. This is today's push day, so it's going to be shoulders, chest, and triceps. But please stick around. And hell, if you want, start redeeming points, and I'll give you a flex. You know. If you guys are wondering where to do that, go to the chat window, and in the bottom left corner, you can use your chat points. 1, 2. Not bad. Wish to redeem a pec bounce, and a pec bounce you shall receive. Let's see. Can't really do this to the Reflex by Duran Duran. Let me pick it up. Ooh, perfect. Let's do this to Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. Ba-da-da, bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. There you go. Ooh, let's go. He who is tired of Queen is tired of having fun. All right. Stooges Slow the River Day. Typically hard rock, some heavy metal, and some rap. You kind of look like Freddie Mercury. You're not the person to say that. How do you do that? Fire Galactic Gamer? Well, it's easy for me to do today because I'm working chest, so there's already a lot of blood flowing there. Just practice. It's just, so I guess the best way to picture it is, imagine you're doing a dumbbell bench press with one arm, right? Flex your chest, relax. Flex your chest, relax. Then leave the arm down. Flex your chest, relax. Flex your chest, relax. That's the basic, easiest way to learn. Face heels, good to see you. Anyway, All right, shoulder press. We're gonna be switching between dumbbell bench and shoulder, and we need clips for this. Well, we don't need them, but I like them. There we go. Now the goal is to stay fairly strict on this form-wise. And tilt this up just a touch. Save it for the next set. Hey, everyone. Curious if you're familiar with other past lifters on Twitch. Sometimes I try to stay somewhat integrated to the Twitch community. I'm not familiar with I'm Evasive though. Tell me more. And welcome, thanks for the first time chat. Nick, good to see you as always. I can do mine at the same time. Isolation's a skill, for sure. Down with fun. Okay, so Bobby, you sent me that video. Let me talk about this before I hit another set. I did watch it, and I think there's a lot of misunderstood intent here. This is where regional values come into play, right? What is going to be acceptable in San Francisco is not going to be what is acceptable here in rural South Carolina. It's just two different cultural standards. You have to be able to appreciate that. Oh my goodness, 31 people. All right, well, y'all have earned handstand push-ups at the end of this workout. Fantastic. So I went to Pride in Augusta for the first time ever. It was the first Pride. And I really liked it. And it definitely reaffirmed, or rather just maybe confirmed, that the media always focuses on the most provocative 1% of people at any major demonstration. Because at Pride, 99% of it were people hanging out, listening to the music, visiting the booths. People were dressed normally, people were, it was two guys or two girls holding hands, which is something that should be accepted, I think. You may not feel the need to celebrate it if you feel as though homosexuality is a sin. That is your right to feel that way. However, openly being hateful against it is not okay either. You have the right to say, you have the right to say shit, but people, a gay couple or a lesbian couple or, trans people should have the ability to be who they are in public. I feel as though that's not a particularly hot take. The problem is you have the 1% of people who dress up in what I would call overly explicit content. And if you want Pride to be about that, that's fine, but you cannot then also make it a family-friendly event. You can either choose to have something that's more family or, in particular, child-friendly, or you can choose to have something that's more explicit and risque. If there's going to be any nudity, you shouldn't make it, something you advertise to families, and vice versa, Is you pandering to a group of people who not accept it ever? I don't think that's true. Living in a very conservative Christian part of the Union, I know a lot of people around here who have warmed up and come around to the idea of live and let live. It's a slow progress, but I think what very often gets forgotten about in this whole discussion is that, remember, 20 years ago, here, just across the river in the great state of Georgia, there was a law that made sodomy illegal, right? The act of being homosexual was illegal in the state of Georgia until 2003, right? From there, we went to gay marriage being the full law of the land in 2015. It's a 12-year swing. So it's going to take time for social attitudes to adjust. I hear what you're saying, but I have a question. Do you see anything problematic with what he was saying? A little bit. I mean, I would say it was a little bit pandering, but at the same time, living in a much more conservative area, I understand that mindset, because it's a lot of the time, the overtly explicit stuff is stuff that there are, like, okay, so I'll put it this way. There were quite a few couples I talked to. There were a couple, like, kink-related things at Augusta Pride. Like, not much. There was, like, one booth with, like, puppy play. I don't think that should have been there. And I ended up talking to quite a few people, because it was the first time I was able to really engage and interact with other LGBT people in and around the local area. A lot of them felt the same way. They said, this is acceptable at a family-friendly event, which we are trying to make Augusta Pride to be. This is not. So it's a question of cultural values. And again, I think this is very much region-specific. What may be tolerated in California is not what's going to be tolerated in the Deep South. Granola Dust, thank you very much. Conservatives will only accept homosexuality if it mirrors heteronormativity. That law got overthrown by the courts. I'm pretty sure that law is now off the books. I remember there being a court case about that. All right, let's do another set. Granola Dust, and yeah, I do take issue with some of what he said. But ultimately it is, right, there is some level of cultural, mutually agreed upon cultural values of what is and isn't okay. And for me, right, like, and the media does a really good job of focusing on the stupid shit, frankly. Like, you know, the fact that, I think it was in Seattle or something, where like there are people who are just straight up nude in public. That's not okay. I think that is, because, right, if heterosexual couples were doing that, that wouldn't be okay either. Like open nudity, you know, really explicit fetish gear, that's where I draw the line. That's meant to be done in private, I think. And I don't think, by the way, those are my opinions. They're not necessarily what everyone else has to believe. You don't have to agree with me 100%. I am probably more culturally conservative than much of Twitch or Discord because of where I live. It's okay. That being said, one other thing I was really pleased about was that there was only one person I counted the whole day that was the "y'all are going to hell, you need Jesus" crowd. Which, considering again where I live in the heart of the Deep South, I was figuring there would be quite a few, and if it's only one person, they're losing this battle quite badly. So yeah, happy Pride. I hope those of you who celebrated Pride Month all of June enjoyed it. And welcome. This is absolutely a place where you can feel free to be yourself, be that you know, LGBT or whatnot. As long as you don't do shit that can get me kicked off of Twitch and chat. I think that's a fair thing to ask. All right, let's go. Oh. For those of you who are new to my audience and don't know, about 6 months ago actually, right at the tail end of 2022, I finally came out. I am bi. It's just not something I advertise. Weed and speed, I'm gay as hell and you're speaking facts. Well, I'm not speaking facts, I'm speaking my opinion. You're entitled to have your own. Think for yourself, it's important. That being said, thank you very much for the follow. And if you like this kind of conversation, check out my Discord. Yeah, I think there is, right, Bobby, can you elaborate on what you think heteronormativity means? Like, like, you know, just holding hands and acting like a couple that is, you know, like, I think public kissing's okay regardless of who you're kissing. You know, I think publicly doing more explicit things than that probably isn't, regardless of who you're doing it with. I don't really care. I care more about that the standard is applied equally. So if something's explicit if you would find something explicit in regular society, perhaps that shouldn't be, I don't know. This is a good conversation. I always like talking about it because it's a culture I'm very much still very new to, and there is a certain grain of truth. Someone's told me that I have a privilege because I can pass myself off as straight. And when I asked them, and they explained it to me, it made a fair amount of sense because I do that at my workplace. I work in a very conservative area of the country, and so I don't bring up my sexuality, and as such, people usually just assume I'm straight. Although I did find a couple other site workers that saw me at Pride. And I guess this still kind of shows the repression I was brought up with, but my knee-jerk response was, I was never there. So I'm a work in progress too. I'm still coming to terms with who I am and learning to accept myself. It's not easy. I was raised in a very conservative Catholic family. By that definition, my sexuality is a sin, and while we can sit here and say, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, it doesn't make the feeling go away. Anyway, let me hit another set. 2, 3, 4. Not bad. This is a great conversation. By the way, those of you who are new, welcome. My name is BullMuscle. I do diet advice, exercise advice. I try to preach positivity, stoic mindset, and I am working towards financial independence, which I will achieve before I turn 30 years old. If you're interested in learning how to do any of that, this is the chat for you. Thank you, and welcome. But Bobby, I do appreciate you sending me that video, though. I like being challenged on what I believe. My Discord server and people like you help me continue to be challenged by what I believe. If you never allow your beliefs to be challenged, you're never going to understand why you believe them or really be able to coherently defend them. Just as important as it is to be able to defend and understand why you believe what you believe, it is equally important to remain open to the idea that you may be wrong or your beliefs may be based on preconceptions that are obsolete or have been proven wrong by some other factor you previously heretofore did not know about, and therefore replace an old value with a new value. You are not a worse person because you have changed your mind on an issue. Your beliefs are not who you are. Princess Chubb 78. Is that right? She's probably gonna say, hi, amateur weightlifter, like your vibe. Thank you very much. Well, welcome to the chat. I would call myself a amateur recreational weightlifter. I do this primarily for my own mental health. So make of that what you will. I need something heavier than this. All right. Let's go Flower by Moby. That's a good lifting song. Someone was asking me about healthcare the other day and the frankly flawed American system and what I think we should do. And I had some pretty interesting thoughts on that. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about that. That's really up to y'all. Again, the conversation can kind of go wherever it needs to. Let's hit this. You're going to do dumbbell tricep extensions at some point too. One, two, three. This is, I think, our fourth set on bench. Here we go. That was only 14. Damn. I wanted a 15th set there. Let's do a 5th set on that. Give me for 1 second. No. Bug flew up my nose. Sorry about that, y'all. Are you streaming from the PC or phone? A laptop. When I say I'm straight, the other guy was just pushing like, hey, just kiss something else. That's just as problematic as the straight guy who says he can flip a lesbian. If you tell someone you're not gay or you're not interested in men, that should be the end of any romantic or sexual pushes. So that's... Thankfully, you seem like a pretty strong guy there, W. Ramir. So you should be able to, you know, convince people to leave you alone if that happens. All right, so let's see here. Do 3 sets of 8 on shoulder press. We'll move to behind the neck after that. So we'll do 1 more set on this. I did not catch those Supreme Court decisions, Big Red. What were they about? Also going to turn the fan up. It's getting warm in here. Let's actually, while we're in here, check. Thermometer says, yeah, 85 degrees. That is 29 degrees Celsius in here. Is that a program you're writing? No, I just write all my progress. Whenever I do sets, I write down how much I did them at, so how many sets, how many reps, and at what weight, because then I can track it and see how it improves over time. You get the music they have it on stream, separated audio channel, not have it on the VOD. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I might do that in the future. I've been considering that. Here we go, come on. Nice. We're going to D-rack at 125, go behind the neck. affirmative action and the student loan debt cancellation program being denied. Interesting. I generally believe affirmative action needs to be reworked. At this point, it would be better to do it based on economic class than on skin color. I'm also glad the student loan forgiveness program got denied. It's an inflationary measure, and those were not grants. Those were loans. They were meant to be paid back. Unemployment rate is at a record low right now. Wages are going up for the first time in 25 years. If you were going to forgive student loans, this would be the absolute worst time to do it. You'd be far better off taking such a measure in the depths of a recession, which we are not in. Harvard couldn't use race as a metric for accepting students. That's fine for me. To know twice or twice, they understand and don't keep pushing, but still. Sometimes you gotta tell them more than once. It sucks, but there's nothing society can really do to help you there. It's an inconvenience. Then again, as someone who's bi, I can't really give you advice here, can I? All right. It's not. Why are we going with the police? I need something stronger than that. Let's go with. How about a little Nazareth? There we go. Yeah. See, I think Harvard can get whatever student they want of whatever race that they want. It's Harvard. They're never going to have a problem of we can't get the students we want. Unless you're an engineer, it's about the most prestigious college in the world. And if you are an engineer, the most prestigious college in the world is literally across the Charles River at MIT. So, you know, I would say, as far as affirmative action is concerned, if you're Harvard, with all the money that university has, you'd be better off doing things by class. It's just my opinion. Now, of course, Harvard is ultimately a private school, and therefore, I don't think should be held to the same restrictions or held to the same targets as a public school like, I don't know, Texas A&M, my alma mater would be. All right, let's go. Let's hit this. Yes, I am an Aggie. Yes, we are a cult. No, I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm pissed off myself. I only stopped at 14 last time. Damn it. All right, 13, I failed on that. That sucks. There we go. So, this is the same thing we were doing earlier. The only difference is the bar is coming behind my head instead of staying in front. Works a slightly different part of your shoulder. I have found that it's effective. I don't normally like dropping the weights that I did there, but I was out of gas, unfortunately. Okay, let's hit this. For behind the neck press, I generally use a slightly wider grip, maybe 2 to 3 inches wider than my conventional grip. I find that it's easier on my wrists this way. Your mileage may vary depending on your arm length and how flexible your upper body is. Oh, come on. That's not good. I want one there. Damn. All right. All right, so we're gonna do triceps extensions here. Laying down on the bench, slightly easier exercise. Slightly lighter weight, a little bit more on form. Ooh, all right. Whom the Bell Toll by Metallica. That'll do. That's not bad. We're at 15 with that. Yeah, I'm already coated in sweat. It's getting warm in here. Yeah. It is now 86 degrees, that is 30 degrees C, and it's getting warmer, fast. Five, 9, all right. Shoot, yeah, we're going slow, we need to pick up the pace. Bum. You know what? For a change, I think I'm gonna face this way. Give you all a different view. All right. Time marches on. All right. I think. I'll give this the incline press action now I'm thinking about it. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Yeah. We'll do that next. Hey, City on Foot, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. One, two, three. Come on. All right, now we're gonna move this down to incline press. I'm gonna be lazy and do it the quick way. That's always kind of fun, being able to do that. All right, we'll do shoulder flies next. So you can turn the camera up just a touch. We'll ride the lightning going, like in the Metallica. All right. Camera back down. We'll hit one more set of triceps extensions. Yeah. We'll do 3 sets of incline press, 2 sets of, we might do 4 sets of incline press. I'm not sure yet. See how 195 feels, and we'll go from there. Now it's time to die. Ride the Lightning is such a good album. I know it's normie metal, and it may be from 1984. That doesn't make it any worse. Look, some things are popular because they're just really fucking good. Ride the Lightning has held the test of time. I can never decide between Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All, which my favorite Metallica album is. It's one of those two. I like Master of Puppets. I like And Justice for All a lot too. But it's either Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All for me. Front raises for shoulders at 40 pounds. Move the incline after that. Yeah, like that. Might do some behind the neck extensions. Nika Chicken, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Welcome back. What happened to the... Huh. For whatever reason, Ride the Lightning cut out. Hey, Tahani Time, thank you very much for the follow as well. We're thinking about visiting the southern U.S. Okay, which state is the best scenery? Well, it really depends. Are you a beach person or are you a mountain person? And at what time are you coming? Thanks for the first time chat, Tahani Time. Is Twitch the best place to make income for your live workouts? I wouldn't know. If you guys have noticed, I'm running the minimum amount of ads Twitch allows me to on this server, or on this stream. The reason for this is that I'm not doing this for the money. In fact, I kind of make peanuts from this. However, I'm still going to be able to retire before my 30, before I turn 30, before I turn 30, thanks to my day job. No, the reason I do this is to help teach people, help motivate people, help inspire people. So, Tahani Time, I'm unfortunately the last Twitch streamer you'd want to ask that question to. Lush forests and wide fields. Well, South Carolina's got a lot going for it, if I may say so myself. My home state, well, my current home state now. If you like lush forests and wide fields, really there are no bad southern states to pick from. Anywhere from Virginia to Mississippi is going to be pretty good. Arkansas as well. Texas gets a little bit, it's very wide in terms of the fields, but the heat's very hot and the forests start to thin out. Don't like swamps. Okay, well then avoid Louisiana and avoid Florida. Avoid parts of North Carolina and Virginia. Johnny Tan, I think you love your reason for, thanks for the feedback. Yeah. No, I'd be happy to continue to talk about my stream though, so stick around, man. All right, let me do another set. 3. Yeah, if you're looking to monetize a stream, I am the last person you should talk to. Five, 6, 8, 10, 11, 15. Here we go. We'll set up for incline press. Yeah, I care about making my stream as high quality as possible, and to do that, I sacrifice what Twitch would otherwise pay me from ad revenue. It's not worth it to me. Whether or not the ad revenue, if you're a fellow streamer, is worth it to you is a decision only you can come up with. I feel, for me, as though the answer is no. But most streamers tend to say yes. All right, so let's see, we've got 7 sets of shoulders done, 3 sets of triceps, and 5 sets of shoulder, or 5 sets of chest. So that's 7, 10, 15. We're halfway through the workout. Love your reason. Houston's too hot. I used to live in Texas. Now I live in South Carolina. Where I find something like this, I'll have to. Nika, can you post that link in the Discord? So that way I can view it. Because if I click it, OBS gets really angry at me. So I can't do that. At least not the way I'd like to. Anyway, this is some overhead tricep extension. So this we're gonna go like so. All right. Then we're gonna hit incline press. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. We'll do 3 sets of that. All right. But now he's gone. Fade to Black is a great song. All right, I need to dry off my absolutely soaking wet back right now. So, for just a minute, come over here, grab myself a towel. Oh, that's better. Let's see, Fireblade Alpha, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. We got 40 people in here. It's a big audience today. All right, you know what? Since I got a bigger audience, I'll push myself. Let's make it an even 200. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna keep the flips off. Safety first. Flips off is a safer way to do it. There we go. That's too far back. There we go. Even it out. Just a bit further forward. There we go. That's not bad. I'll take that. Archangelsk, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Yeah, Nika, I'll take a look at that in the Discord just a moment here. Let me do one more set of tries before I do. Here we go. 2, 3. Oh! Oh! Come on. Get your grip, come on. That's 12. Nice. Let's check the Discord. Nico, what channel did you post it in? I do not see it. Oh well, I'll check it later. Keep this on there. I felt like 200, that was a pretty solid weight. I got 7 pretty good sets, didn't struggle too hard on the last couple. I think or 7 pretty good reps. You can stick to that. So we're at 6 chest, 7 shoulders, and 5 sets of tries. So that's 18 sets. We're rolling along. We're not going fast, but we're going pretty reliably here. You need to slightly put this down. These, I mean, there's some bench days that don't really matter, but it looks like these knockoff Chuck Taylors are holding up pretty well so far. They feel pretty comfortable. I feel like I've got a really nice flat surface. It's good. Actually, what I'm gonna do is take this towel. Yeah, much better. So because of the heat in here, I'm sweating a lot, and as a result, I don't want to slide down the bench. It is 87 in here now, so 31 Celsius and rising. Well, not quite 31, like 30.5. My ass is coming off the seat. That's not good. All right, I'm gonna go down weight. Go down to 175. Don't you want to install window AC? Yapaholic, I do. But if I did that, I would fry my electrical circuit in here. The reason why is that this is an electric car, and I also have an electric car. So, while I would like to install AC, it would require a fairly expensive electrical circuitry upgrade that I'm not willing to do yet. I may do that in the future. I don't think I want to do it yet. There is also some benefit to training in heat. You will not get quite as good numbers, but you do get improved thermal resistance. In other words, you're able to do more work in hot temperature the more you get used to it, which as a southerner is kind of important, especially as climate change continues to heat this part of the country up more and more and more. So I do want to, but I can't. Not yet. Good question, though. All right, I'm gonna give you all the triceps view. Now that makes sense, you would be able to see it. All right, nice set. There we go. You can't just burp on command, bro. Or drink some water, maybe that'll make me burp. All right. So we've done 7 sets of chest, 7 sets of shoulders, and 6 sets of tries. So we're gonna do we're gonna do 2 sets more on incline, a set of chest flies, 3 sets of Arnold press, 2 sets of close grip bench, and then probably 2 sets of jab. If you're wearing 2 shorts, do the first off one. Might help you cool down a bit more. Today I'm wearing a pair of tight white compression shorts underneath this. Unfortunately, Yapaholic, due to my anatomy, I don't really know how else to say this. I've gotten flagged by Twitch before just for like doing jumping jacks and jumping rope to warm up. And so these compression shorts are kind of trying to prevent that, or it's an attempt for me to kind of meet Twitch halfway. Twitch has been kind of difficult as to what is and isn't kosher. It's frustrating. Seriously, I've gotten banned just for doing, or not banned, I've gotten suspended just for doing like jumping jacks before. Like seriously, right? Like that's it. So I can't, unfortunately, I cannot turn myself into a real life Ken doll for Twitch. So at some level, you know, there's a limit as to what I can do there. But I'm trying to meet him halfway. This is the best I can do. Not really, really trying not to brag there. That's just something that has actually happened. I've already had 2 strikes on my account, both on the same fucking factor, so I'm a little bit scared Twitch is looking at me with a very detailed microscope on that regard. I don't know, I'm doing my best on that one. Yeah, a lot of the time I don't wear these compression shorts just because I need the ventilation. Usually the way I'll do it is if it's below 90 degrees, I'll suck it up and wear something like this to kind of minimize that anatomical effect. But if it's above 90 degrees, it's a matter of me staying cool. There's not much else I can do. So make of that what you will. All right, let me do another set here. There's 9. I'll do one more set of that. It's frustrating because I know a lot of the people who come here would rather see a little bit more down there, but I gotta play by TOS. There we go. Oh, I also got the 2x4s, so I think these are 2x6s, necessary. What I'm gonna do is mount these to my studs over here. The grill's gonna move, but mount them right about here and here, and I'm gonna mount my wall bag there. So I'm excited for that. That'll happen in the future. All right, what else do we need to do? Arnold press. All right. $20, $30, $40, let's go 50s. Hope you have more freedom on Discord. I sure do. And for that, you can check the Discord link out. Absolutely. I strongly recommend those of you who really like what I do and would like to hang out with me off hours. I'm very active on my Discord. I really want to see that community grow. I really like hanging out with all y'all. And you know, there are those of y'all who, for whatever reason, you know, you can't make it to these streams, but you like the community. That's the perfect place for you. It's a lot more spontaneous, I guess. I'm also going to be hitting up the beach today, so I'll probably have time to chat in the car later. All right, let's do a set. so I'm liking these already a lot more in my normal lifting shorts. They have a lot more lateral stability. All right, I got one more set of incline press, 4 more sets of tries, and 2 more sets of shoulders. We're doing pretty good on time, I think. But wow, I will say this has been a very healthy audience this morning. Usually I don't have 30-odd people sticking around in here. There we go. Someone sent me something on the Discord channel. I like telling people, yo, come talk to me in here. Sitting on foot, literally just came from a shoulder workout, learning I can do a lot more. Hell yeah, bro. I recommend the Arnold press a lot, especially with dumbbells. Really kind of changes how you're working them. I recommend the shoulder fly. You may call these front or side raises. I call them shoulder flies because, right, if this is a chest fly, why would this be a shoulder fly, right? Call them whatever you want, but they are good for your shoulders. I can also give you trap exercises, but I do those on pull days. Anyway, I got a second up here. Also, thanks for the first time chat, Steady on Foot, and thanks for the follow again. Alright, I'm trying to focus. I want to hit 10 here. Hitting one of my go-tos, playing piece cells. Let's go. I'll take it. That's 10. Peace sells, but who's buying? Peace sells, but who's buying? Peace sells, but who's buying? All right. Now we're gonna keep carrying on. We're gonna move to close grip, jam press for the tries. This, you need to lower the rack. So we're going to do that. This is me being lazy, but I don't care. The lowest grip weight, I feel that this is safe to do. For me, that's about my body weight. There we go. Yeah. Due to what I do for a living, songs like Godzilla, Peace Sells, a very special place in terms of how I view them. Hey, Cross54, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, man. Welcome on in. All right. Sit Unchained by Van Halen. All right. Close grip. Come on. Let's carry on. You know, before, you know, I'm gonna do a set and then I'll talk about that. Oh. Blue-eyed I'm not counting that last rep. That was bad. Chilly, chilly, chilly. That's bad. Yeah. I'm getting pretty shot up. I'm gonna go down weight. That sucks. Ain't worth it. Do it right or don't bother. Yes, Big Red, I love that video. And it's true. If you are a fan, as I am, of free market capitalism, you should be appalled by these gross handouts the government gives to billionaires. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't happen. The problem is it's a prisoner's dilemma. Because she's right. For every city like Cincinnati that says yes, it gets bent over, or like St. Louis that says no, there's going to be a Los Angeles, a Las Vegas, a Jacksonville that's willing to pony up big time. That's why I support letting the Oakland Athletics move. The city of Oakland has a humongous housing crisis, and it can very ill afford something like a brand new stadium that could be land reallocated to house people and lower rent. So, no, let the Athletics move. I know A's fans, that's a hard thing to swallow, but it's gonna be the best thing for your city. Oakland does not have the money. I get that that's a painful thing to hear. John Fisher's a piece of shit, but no, this is a gift in disguise if you are a resident of the city of Oakland. You have more pressing priorities for what you should be focusing on. All right, let's get a little working man going by Rush. All right, this is going to be another set of arnold press. The only difference is this time you're sitting and not standing. Does it matter whether or not you're sitting or standing? I don't think so. I could be convinced that it does, but I haven't seen any literature that suggests one way or the other that sitting or standing shoulder press is better or worse. So if one of y'all is an expert on shoulder press and can justify whether or not I should sit or stand, be that Arnold press or be that military press or be that behind the neck press or whatever, I'd be very curious to know. Here we go. 2, Hey, Bull. Oh, there we go. It's Tigo. Good to see you, Tigo. All right. So I got one more set of shoulders, one set of chest flies, and 3 more sets of close grip. So we're getting there. How much power do we have left? 44 minutes? Yeah, we'll get through. It is 88 degrees in here now. That is 31C. Working man solo. I love Rush. Arguably the best thing to ever come out of Canada. Certainly wasn't going to be their whiskey or food. Look, poutine may make sense if you live in a place where -40 is a temperature you see regularly. If you live anywhere more humid, it probably isn't. I don't know. Canada's a weird place. They're our greatest ally, though. They shouldn't be, but they are. They're definitely our closest ally, and they're extremely important. I just wish we treated Mexico like we treated Canada, because Mexico should be Mexico should be right fucking there as our other ally. The fact that we don't do more to help Mexico prosper, we're hurting ourselves. A strong Mexico helps a strong United States, and vice versa. It's in our mutual interest to see Canada and Mexico become prosperous, just like we are. Also, Mexico's a lot less fucking pretentious than Canada is. And even you Canadians in chat have to admit, come on. Like, half of your national identity is trying to be better than us. Be honest, that's a big part of it. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect it. I can respect that being the attitude, but own up, you know. I mean, why else would you have built the 401 to be just a little bit bigger than the Katy Freeway in Houston, right? I mean, you can't be that stupid to think the 401 was actually a good idea. It's just one more lane, bro. The thing's a joke. Take it. Go down, wait for jams. Never done jams at 125. Let me see how that goes. Took me a while to kind of figure out how these operated, but I didn't really have any issues doing them at 95 or 105, so we'll see how these go. Papar 00. Thank you very much for the follow. All right, so let's see, we got one set of chest flies, one set of Arnold press, 2 sets of jam press. All right. I think we'll do our final set of Arnold press next. Time. It seems to me I could live my life a lot better than I think I am. That's why they call me. They call me the working man. I guess that's what I am. All right. Last set of Arnold press. So, again, the difference between an Arnold press and a regular press is you start with an underhand or supinated grip, and you finish in an overhand or pronated grip. I find that this rotation works the shoulders a bit better than a basic military press or shoulder press, so I incorporate it. If you feel otherwise, don't do it. Here we go. 1, 2. Come on. Focus, come on. Finish the set. Okay, we're done. We're toast on shoulders. Lower down to 30s. And we'll do chest flies after a set of jams. Let's get a little bit more music going. That'll work. All right. Jam press is something I've only very recently learned and I'm still getting used to. The idea here is basically half a close grip bench and half a skull crusher. So we go sort of close grip-ish. Weight. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let me go down weight. Okay. You don't have to play around with it. We'll go with 85. Strong like bull, come on, finish strong. Strong like bull. That's more like it. Come on. Come on. Those are pretty lousy reps at the end. I'm getting cooked. We're gonna D-rack. We just got one set left. It's gonna be chest flies, and then we're done. We're gonna hit it. We'll hit handstand push-ups. We'll hit egg whites. We'll hit abs. We'll do a Q&A, and then that'll be it. So we got plenty to go. Stick around. We're not done yet. Stop it.
sits. This is chest flies. You're not really supposed to do these at high weight, and I'm not going to. I've got 30-pound dumbbells, and I'm going for reps and form. Hopefully, I don't feel any pain in my shoulders when doing these. I have felt that in recent times. We're gonna go very cautiously. Oh. So, feels good so far. 8. Come on. Come on, 4 more. Come on! There we go. Oh, my eyes are stinging from the sweat. Ah. All right, that's it. For the workout, we're gonna head inside. Let's head inside. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Gizmometer. That's a name. All right. Oh, actually, final temp check. Survey says 88.2 degrees. Yeah, it's about just a tick under 31.5 Celsius for those of you who are not American. It is now getting quite warm in here. So let's head in. And can we get some height for handstand push-ups? Because that's what we're doing next. Good workout, guys. Feels nice in here. All right, let's plug you guys in for just a moment while I catch my breath, and then I will do handstand push-ups shortly after. Turn the fan on. Take my headphones out. There we go. Very good. All right. So, let's make sure got everything written down. We sure do. I'm going to write down the egg white and protein powder I will have in a moment. It's going to be 100 calories for the egg whites. I'll do I'll tell you what, I'll do a double shot. I'll do 16 ounces if we hit 50 viewers in here, okay? Before I knock them down. All right. And then the protein powder, 340 calories. 56 grams protein, 7 grams fat, 17 grams carbs. Awesome. So, what we're going to do now is we are going to karate. Peace time. It's exactly what you think it is. Again, now I've said this on my streams enough times to where you know, but for the new people, I'll explain. What I'm doing here actually is an environmentally friendly way to amp up your compost. You take a milk gallon jug, fill it about maybe to about here with urine, dilute the rest with water, and pour it over your compost heap. Human urine has a high quantity of nitrogen in it, a high concentration of nitrogen. As a result, when diluted properly, it actually makes for pretty decent green compost. So you can throw it in and it will help break down the brown compost you have in your pile, things like dead leaves, sticks, and so on. When you do this, it effectively gives you better compost faster. So it's worth doing. Anyway, we'll go ahead and take our sneakers off here. These worked out rather well, I think. Yeah. It's got a little memory foam insert. I may end up taking that insert out. Let's see if I can. No. Is it adhesive? Is it glued on? It is glued on. Okay, well, that's a bit of a pity. Still, it's a flat load. So these are basically knockoff Chuck Taylors. The idea is that you want a flat sole, right? So that way it's easier to squat on. Compared to my previous lifting shoes, which were a beat up pair of runners that I actually have left over from my dad when he passed away, they're going to be an upgrade. They passed the test with flying colors today, though, so credit where it's due. All right. All right, so let's get some handstand push-up hype in chat, please. Y'all do that. I'm gonna get handstand push-ups going. My shoe size, depending on the brand, I wear a size 12 or 13 American. Hey. All right, Kia Day Griffiths, welcome on in. Brussels sprouts, good. Thank you for the handstand push-ups hype. We're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, I'm just pulling up the stream manager on my other computer so I can see who else followed and whatnot, and so I can thank them in real time. I feel like that's something cool that I can do. And we are rolling too. So I'll give you a little bit of a channel update. Since we are at literally the halfway point of this year, we are at 1,000. We started the stream with 1,464 followers. We've gotten 9 more. At this pace, we might just hit 2,000 by the end of the year. That would make me pretty happy. I'm kind of hoping we pull that off. So tell a friend. You know, I don't really run ads. That's not what I care about. I care about getting the message out, being optimistic, helping inspire people. So let's get some handstand push-ups going, huh? These are always a pain in the ass on push day because my shoulders, right? I was doing all those shoulder presses. But what do handstand push-ups do? Well, they're gonna work your shoulders pretty well. So I typically will not do as many of these on push days as I do on the leg or pull. But I will do them nonetheless. So again, if y'all like what I do and you want to see more of it, please check out the Discord. I do quite a lot on there. So here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep. That's gonna be it. Yeah, my shoulders are pretty shot. Thanks for posting the Discord link there, Cher. I appreciate it. All right, so if we hit 50 viewers, I'll knock down a pint of raw egg whites. Give y'all guys just another couple of minutes to do that. I don't think it's happening. I think we're gonna stay at 40. That's fine. I'm actually going to a legendary barbecue spot in Charleston tonight. That's going to be fun. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit about what's going on with the stream. Normally, I do my rest day on Sundays, where we'll play old school RuneScape, and you guys get to follow along with me. I'm not doing that tomorrow because I'm going to be down in Kiowa Island in South Carolina because I want a beach day. However, to make up for that, I am actually going to stream on the 4th of July. That should be a whole lot of fun too. So there's a little... Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Carl Dude. Welcome on in. Let me get my cup. And we're gonna knock down some raw egg whites. Impression of John Madden talking about Brett Favre. Man, it's really important. Okay, I'll do this my best. Let me knock down the egg whites first. 8 ounces. Yeah. Fumble. That's terrible. Are you on Instagram too? Archangelsk, I'm not. Discord and Twitch only. The reason I'm not on Instagram or any other socials is because of that. That's what I do for a living, so I have to be very careful. Anyway, alright, impression of John Madden talking about Brett Favre. You know, in football, usually the team that scores the most points wins. And you know who really understood that concept was Brett Favre. Brett Favre was excellent at scoring more points than the opponent, and that's why I find he was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I can't do a very good John Madden. That's my best impression.
Hey you.
Turducken. There you go.
Hey you.
We got our protein powder. Good to see you, Lab Boys, by the way. My main man, Lab Boys TV. Always happy to have you in chat. How was jumping off a cliff yesterday? Not being hyperbolic, that's some shit he went and did. Or are you doing that today? I forget. Chilling on Chad's couch. Chad, the man of many long fingers, waiting for him to wake up. Creatine. Peanut protein out. So go to the lake. Yeah. Lake day. Gotta love a lake day. Fam, I'm having a beach day today and tomorrow. I'm gonna spend a night down in Charleston. I'm gonna go to Kiowa Island, so I'm really excited about that. I've never been to Kiowa. That's one of the few Carolina islands I haven't seen yet, so I take that one off the list. I like the Grand Strand a lot, but particularly the North Myrtle section, because Myrtle Beach itself is like a super touristy kind of trap place. And North Myrtle's just undiscovered enough and just quiet enough to where it's really nice. To be honest, I might honestly like the North Carolina section even better. You get past Little River, you cross the state line, like Carolina Beach, there in, I think that's Brunswick County. Really, really nice.
Sunset Beach.
Sunset Beach, thank you. I love Hilton Head. Hilton Head is built up and touristy, but it means the beach is very accessible. You have lots of public bathrooms if you wish to use them. You have places to change. There's lots of good restaurants. It's not cheap, but it's a nice place. I like Hilton Head. I did not care for Folly Island, mostly because when we went, the tide must have been really high for some reason, and most of it was underwater. So the beach was very small. I've never been to Defusky Island, mostly because the cost of getting over there on a ferry is stupidly high. Impression of Jackie Moon fighting a bear. Fuck you, Clarence Spumoni! Dewey, come on out! Folly also is the worst traffic on planet Earth. Hey, ATLean00, welcome. Thanks for the first time chat. If you're a fellow resident of the Palmetto State, cheers. I'm going down to Kiowa. Actually tonight, I'm meeting up with a fellow Twitch streamer called Radio Dead Air. Dodger and we're gonna go and meet him up at Rodney Scott's barbecue in Charleston. It's a place I've wanted to try for a while. I watched a documentary. Rodney Scott was born in Georgetown, and he was born in a poor black family, learned how to do pig picking at a proper, at a young age, and kind of built his own restaurant fortune. And I really admire that. He's kind of like an American success story. Oh, hey, you're in Beaufort. Dude, I love Beaufort. It's a great little town. Dude, if I'm up in the Midlands, over in Aiken County, if you ever want to hang out, hit a bro up. This needs to use some ice. It's a little bit warm. I'm going to refill it with some water and some ice. Much better. Yeah, Beaufort. I love Beaufort. Jasper County, Beaufort County, Colleton County, any of the low country is awesome. I just wouldn't want to live there because it floods a lot. I think the second you get any further south of Allendale, that's where you start worrying about floods. Allendale's not a bad little town.
We're gonna pass it further out.
Huh?
We're gonna pass it through Allendale on the way to Kiowa.
No, we're not. Aren't we going through Charleston first? Isn't that where we're meeting?
Kiowa, we're gonna pass it right through Allendale.
You mean coming back from Kiowa?
No, heading there.
What the fuck kind of route are we talking about here? Okay, well,
The entire length of 125.
we're gonna take 125 and then go up 95?
No, we're not touching 95 at all.
Then how the hell are we getting to Charleston? Whatever. You figured it out more than I have. I trust your judgment. Actually, what I need to do, today being the 1st of July, I need to do my abs. So we're going to plug in. Actually, I regret knocking down this protein shake, but I'm going to finish doing that, and then I'm going to do abs, because I hate myself, apparently. Excuse me. There you go. Crash override. There's your burp. Someone had asked me to do one earlier. Yeah, okay, so I moved to South Carolina from the great state of Texas, the Lone Star Republic, and I have been so pleasantly surprised by just how much I love living here. The cost of living is among the lowest in the country. People are very friendly. The barbecue is second only to Texas. And I do mean that. South Carolina does barbecue better than North Carolina does. Fight me. The only place that does it better is properly done Texas brisket is Jesus' gift to mankind, among others. The disco stick, welcome on in. Hot? Yeah, it was hot. It was 88 degrees, and let me check the humidity too. This thing doesn't have a humidity reader, but it does. I did take it off my wrist to make sure the temp was accurate, and yeah, by the end of the workout, it was 88 in there. Survey says humidity is 80%, so real feel of 108 degrees out. South Carolina, everyone. Yeah, air quality's still low today. Fucking Canada strikes again. Dude, how the hell is all that wildfire-y shit? I smelled like the formaldehyde-y kind of smell that comes from wildfires. Because I've been up to Washington State enough times to know what that smells like. And how the fuck are we getting that all the way down here in South Carolina? Friend Ryan sitting on the couch next to me wants you to rank the religions of the world. The disco stick. Okay, so that must be Chad. Chad, I want you to take your really long, disturbingly skinny fingers and press that follow button before I answer that question. I'm not doing a racial tier list. Fuck that shit. But I will do a religion tier list. Jetstream's very chaotic lately. It's pulling the crud down. Yeah, that's what it is. It's even worse in Montreal. Well, you're Canadian. You get what you. That's what you get. That's what you get. Sorry, that's an in-joke. I don't actually mean that, but Ryan will, or not Ryan, Lab Boys will understand that. Fucking Canadians and shit. Nah. Actually, I don't hate Montreal. Montreal and Quebec are cool. Toronto pisses me off. It's got all the cost of living of San Francisco and all the weather of Cleveland. Where's the upside? Why would someone want to live there?
Here's the real question. What is worse, Toronto or Austin?
Oh, I would gladly live in Toronto before living in Austin. Austin.
Oh, you got followed.
Hey, thank you very much for the follow the disco stick. You and your freakishly long fingers. I will now answer that religion tier list question. Who is in the background gaming? That would be my roommate, Dodger of Zion. So I'll go ahead and give her a shout out just because she's pretty awesome. She does like Jackbox and tarot card readings. It's not what I normally do, but like it's kind of neat. And usually I'll show up in the background. Also, it's the first of the month, so I'll send you the rent is due.
Of course it is.
Mm-hmm. Shout out. Zion. Vancouver has San Francisco cost of living in the atmosphere of a hibernating bear cave at 3 p.m. in the winter. Yeah, but British Columbia is really pretty. Ontario isn't. So anyway, yeah, Dodger's my roommate. She does more gaming. Jackbox, she does Jackbox a lot, and that's really fun. Okay, so I'm not going with the racial tier list rank. That shit's bait. But I will do the religion tier list rank. First off is the Catholic Church. We got the most people, and I'm Catholic, so sue me. Yes, I'm putting my own religion first. Deus Vult. Second off, it's not technically a religion, but I'm including it anyway because I can respect it from a purely logical standpoint, is agnosticism. Ultimately, with logic alone, agnosticism is where you would come down. You have insufficient data to come to a conclusion. I thought you guys were dating. Nope, we're just friends. She cool. Chris Sitter, 1939. Nah, I'm single, so. Hey, Lab Boys, thanks for the bits. Actually, I'm gonna shout you out too. Go check out Lab Boys TV on YouTube, y'all. Much like Dodger, Lab Boys is one of the homies. Like, just we've known each other for about as long as one can possibly know someone else. He's always producing great content, be it Muay Thai, be it BMX. Like he'll do games of bike. He'll do all sorts of really cool shit. So definitely go check out Lab Boys. His shit's great. Seriously, absolutely love it. 100%. All right, so let me go ahead and do my abs. I think that's what we got next. The disco stick, yes, that's the Girardi emote. There is a reason I have that. I think you weren't up when I was doing that and explaining that. I'll talk about that later. Also, if you like Team Fortress 2, there you go. Other religions, atheism goes at the bottom just because I find like militant atheists the most annoying. Probably put Islam fairly far down, and it's not because the average Muslim does anything wrong, but it's because, look, I'm sorry, Afghanistan, that's y'all's mess at this point. No one else is stoning women. No other religion is doing that shit. So, yeah. Nah, I got tons of Muslim friends, so I'm not gonna go too crazy there, because I'd rather not get kicked off of Twitch, but Islam has its problems, although, again, to be fair, as a Catholic, God only knows the Catholic Church has its fair share of problems, too. I'm not blind to that. Just because I'm a Catholic doesn't mean I can't see the problems my own religion has. One of the biggest ones being that we do not allow for priests to marry or have families. And I think that forced celibacy, no, it's not, Chris Sitter. The United States certainly didn't help matters, but Afghanistan's been fucked up for a really long time. Ultimately, you can draw it back to the British. The entire concept of Afghanistan doesn't make sense when you look at an ethnic map. The border lines of Afghanistan, and to a lesser extent Pakistan, were designed and drawn up by a bunch of British people who didn't understand the different tribes there. Things like the Pashtuns, the Balochis, oh no, you're British? Oh, my deepest condolences, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is much like Iraq, Syria. There are a lot of things the British fucked up. Now, the United States, again, we didn't help, but you can't blame Afghanistan solely on the United States. If anything, you can blame it on the USSR more than you can blame it on us. The British Empire is generally responsible for the worst political divisions on earth. Untrue. The French Empire is generally responsible for the worst political divisions on earth. Go look at how fucked up West Africa is and you'll understand why. The British is number 2. The USSR is probably number 3 and we're probably number 4.
India. Oh, that's true. I forgot about India and Bangladesh. That was British fuckery. Okay, you do put you. That's a pretty good point. Maybe the blokes are number one. You can make it. I'll put it this way. You can make a good claim for either, but as bad as the United States is, go look at the empires that came before us, and we are an improvement. We're the last one on the line. Yeah, I guarantee you. Whoever replaces us, if that's what happens, and I think eventually it probably will be, I don't know who it is, it may well be China, it may well be India, it may well be some other entity that we have yet to discover, we have done a better job than the empires that came before us. Don't skip my dono. Dude, the chat's moving quick, I'm sorry. Read Lab Boy's dono. Impression of Trump being attacked. I can't do a good Trump impression. Impression of Trump getting attacked by Mexicans. See, I feel like if I say that, I'm gonna get canceled. I don't really want to get banned off of Twitch, and my one rule in chat is, don't say shit that's gonna get me kicked off of the platform. See, even if I'm doing an impression to mock it, I feel like Twitch's admins may not feel that that is accurate. You know what? I'll send you one on Snapchat, because I actually do have you. I only do Snapchat with people I know in real life. Sorry in advance for that. But I'll send you one there. That's fair. USA did a better job? Yeah. Than the British Empire? Absolutely. We did a better job than the British Empire. It doesn't mean it's a good job, but it is a better one. For all of our faults, we did a better job than the British or the French did. Everybody loves to shit on America because we're at the top right now. But compare it to some of the... I mean, look. Again, take the American drug war. As bad as the American drug war is, and it does need to end, look at what the British did with the Opium Wars in the 1830s, and tell me we really are worse, because we're not. Thoughts on the Holy Roman Empire? It was kind of a joke, frankly. Didn't really... The HRE was more or less a confederation of really tiny states that Prussia thankfully took out of its misery. The HRE didn't really need to continue existing for a certain while. Visigoths taking over the Seventh Hill takeover. They took care of the HRE real quick. I mean, ultimately, the Holy Roman Empire, what matters the most about the Holy Roman Empire is how it affected LeBron's legacy. Can we talk about that? That's what really matters about the Holy Roman Empire. The fall of the HRE was crucial in determining LeBron's legacy for the NBA. Played Age of Empires 2.0 history? Hell yeah. USA didn't learn a shit from several thousand years of bad decisions the rest of the world did? No, it didn't! Are you kidding me? The rest of the world did. Oh, really? Really? Because the USSR was also in Afghanistan. Dude, you can continue hating on America, but that sounds like what you're doing there. You gotta remember, again, I'm not saying the United States is perfect, because we fucking aren't, but compared to the empires that came before us, yes, we are an improvement. Start abs. USSR doesn't exist, not anymore, because it was run really poorly around a philosophy and economic policy that was a failure. But make no mistake, the USSR was absolutely an empire. Doing this after egg whites and protein always sucks. Come on. Rest of the Western world isn't trying to do dumb shit. It's still world. Oh, really? Are you sure?
Go look up what the French are still doing in West Africa to this day to protect their natural resources claims. Talking Mali, Chad, Niger. I think you'll be surprised. Yeah. This sounds like major cope, chair sitter, I'm gonna be honest with you. Honestly, it sounds like you're trying to troll. Look, and again, the USA ain't perfect, but nah. You just sit here and say, oh yeah, Western Europe's never had these problems. You're talking about other developed nations, like, get fucking real. People are, it's not the truth. You're fucking, dude, that's a cope. China's heavily in Africa. Exactly. There's another great example. The Chinese are absolutely exploiting the shit out of the third world. You can say, you can sit here and blame America for all of the world's problems. Go ahead. We're used to it. I'm guessing you're probably either, World War II, what do you do? You land on a beach while the Soviet Union, oh my god, you are, okay, are you a tanky? This is gonna be interesting. Tell me, buddy, where do you think all those Soviet munitions and arms came from? Where do you think all the food to feed the Red Army came from? Oh no, that was us! Oops! I guess the Pacific Theater doesn't count in your brain too. This guy's fucking trolling hard. Being proud of people fighting evil guns that are proud of selling to people fighting evil guns that actually participating. Oh yeah, no, because the Pacific Theater totally didn't exist. The plunge into fascist Italy totally didn't exist. Okay. Dude, this is just sad. You just hate America. That's cool. We're used to it. Remember, in the Eastern Front, oh my god. In the Eastern Front, the Soviets, before we started sending them shit, the Soviets sent guys up to the front with the only rifles they had. And the plan for the backup troops was to pick up the rifles of the dead Soviet soldiers. That's the Stalin way. You guys actually won against an army? Oh yeah, we attacked Japanese civilians. Yes, because it was Japanese civilians that took over the Philippines and Guadalcanal and Indonesia. Oh yeah, I'm sure, and Korea. And Manchuria. Those were definitely Japanese civilians. Totally. This is just pathetic, dude. Howdy, welcome. Thanks for the first time chat. I guess the Marshall Plan doesn't mean anything to you either. Oh. Hiroshima and Nagasaki, civilian cities. Had to be done. More deaths would have happened had we actually invaded the mainland. Friend zone, just looking for motivation this morning. Hey, I went in there, I kicked ass, didn't have a perfect workout, but it went pretty well. Hit shoulder press, tries and bench press. Get out there, man, kick some ass, make good decisions, and you're gonna be better off for it. Be strong, make good decisions. Thank you for the follow very much, friend zone. What are you looking to do today? Are you working out today? Why not attack some military bases? You mean like all the ones we had firebombed previously, even though the Japanese weren't surrendering? Dude, most of Japan's military capability was destroyed by 1945. They just refused to surrender. They fucked around and they found out. This is just pathetic, dude. Where are you from, chair sitter? Where are you from? Come on then. This dude's a fucking troll. That's okay. Again, we're used to it. In fact, we have our own resident population of Americans that hate America blindly just the way you do. They're called people in San Francisco.
That's a broad statement.
Yeah, you're right. People in Berkeley makes more sense.
That's also a broad statement.
23, 24. That's true. Lawrence Livermore exists there. Where are you from? Seriously. I wanna know. Chair sitter, what country are you from? Let's hear it. Let's see it. Anyway, all right, so we're done. Abs there. All right, need a little bit of water. Yeah, that's a bit too far. As people may hate on the British Empire, and I like shitting on them a lot, but a lot of Industrial Revolution applications were invented by the British. And by the British, I usually mean the Scots, but still. Anyone search topics? I was curious about the Retire by 30 plan. Dude, awesome. I will absolutely talk about that. Let me go ahead. Oh, you're Swedish. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. That's why your head is firmly shoved up your ass. Oh, that's right. You're wanting that big America Daddy protection now that Russia's threatening you guys. You and Finland, huh? Wow. Oh, wow. I need to get I need to get a couple of the Swedes on my server in here. All right, anyway. Phoenix redeemed a peck bounce? Sure thing. Bum, ba bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba da da dum, bum. Bum, bum, ba da 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 da. Bum, bum, ba da da dum, bum. Bum, bum, ba da 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 da. We ain't a perfect society, but could be a whole lot worse. Anyway, so I'm gonna talk to PayPal 1000 because this is actually something I talk a lot about on my channel. What you see up here says financially independent, I'm free in 669 days, 17 hours and change. This is because I graduated college and I made the decision that I wanted to be able to retire before I turned 30. How did I go about doing this? The first step was to find employment in a low cost of living area that paid reasonably well. I chose this because I made a good decision based on economic data to get a degree that was very marketable and that had decent employment statistics upon graduation. That degree is mechanical engineering. I then started with the defense industry. Didn't want to work for the defense industry, but sometimes you have to take the bird in the hand, so that's what I did. All right? I worked out in a small town in rural Texas from 2017 to 2021, and I saved roughly depending, as time went on, I continued to get raises, and I saved most of the money from those raises. I got between 60 and 80% of my income saved. Luminous Dreams, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. Luminous Dreams, thank you again for the follow. So, I started around 60% of my paycheck saved, and I continually kept increasing that. The way that I did this was I lived, with the exception of buying a car because I lived in a rural area and needed one, I continued to live similarly to the way I was in college, right? For instance, and then in 2021, I moved finally into the industry I've been looking to get into. That would be the nuclear industry. All right. So, Brussels sprout. No, most of them are pretty grateful. Most of them understand the value that we provided. This guy's just an ass. Just ignore him, frankly. As far as the savings portion of it is concerned, so when I moved to South Carolina, I continued to live fairly reasonably. I went and lived in a trailer home for the first year that I lived here. Why did I do that? Well, because I wasn't sure where within the general area of the county I wanted to live. I scoped that out for the first year, ended up finding a home, which I've since bought. I bought this about 18 months ago. And it is in a rural, low cost of living area. And as such, I could afford this mortgage alone. Instead, I have a roommate to help split costs with. This provides her with low cost housing that she can afford, and it drastically reduces the amount I have to pay in effect because it's chipping into, my mortgage payment every month. So it's a win-win. It helps her, it helps me. As a result, my savings rate these days is, depending on the month, between 80 and 85% of my income. As such, I have been investing all of these savings that have been accumulating ever since I graduated in 2017 into basic market index funds. We're talking things that track the S&P 500 primarily. VTI of Vanguard is my favorite. SPY is a very good option if you don't use Vanguard. Other options with Vanguard in particular that I like are VXUS for international diversity. These would be large international corporations, think Siemens, Toyota, you get the idea. VDE, which is for oil and gas, a little bit of energy diversity I think is a good idea. VDE doesn't just do oil and gas, but that is a big part of what they do. While I support the transition to greener and more renewable energies, again, I am an engineer in the nuclear industry, so I do know quite a bit about this topic. I also appreciate the fact that, especially for things like plastics manufacturing, we still need fossil fuels at the moment. I would love to watch us divest from them. I think it's going to take a few more decades, unfortunately, and that is going to cause some serious damage in terms of climate change. That's an unfortunate reality of our present situation. Moving on from that. What else have I done to get my savings rate that high? Actually, a few other things I invest in. VXUS, VDE, VB, and VO. These are for small and mid-cap companies. So VTI, as I had said previously, stands for Vanguard Total Index, and it tracks the S&P 500. What the S&P 500 is it fluctuates given, any different a number of circumstances over time. Roughly the biggest 500 companies by market cap, that is the stock price multiplied by the number of shares in the country. Think companies like Johnson & Johnson, Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, you get the idea. Big blue chip companies that are very unlikely to go bankrupt anytime soon, that often pay out pretty big dividends. Historically, since the late 19th century, this fund, the S&P 500, has returned on average about 7% a year after inflation.
That means that if you continue to reinvest and everything like that, you will see your money roughly double about every 10 years in real terms. It will do more than that, but you have to adjust for inflation. All right? Other ones I like, VB and VO, these are for your small and mid caps. Those are, I think mid cap is the next, like it's the Russell 2000. So it's the 2000 companies that aren't quite at that top 500 level, but are still quite big and are worth, you know, they're your purple chips. And then your red chips, your smaller companies, we're talking, you know, market caps usually between like 100 million and 1 billion, something like that. Wish it were socially acceptable to use electric wheelchairs even if you don't need them. I prefer bicycles. I'm a huge fan of the bicycle. I wish we would adopt it more in the United States because a bicycle is a money printing youth machine. If you can use a bike to commute to work and eschew having to own a car, you will save hundreds of dollars every month, if not thousands of dollars every month. Doing this will turbocharge your savings rate and allow you to achieve retirement a lot earlier. Unfortunately, because of where I work, it is physically impossible for me to do this. I would get turned away, and rightfully so due to safety concerns, by the site gates, by the guards at the site gates if I attempted to cycle to work. Because the only road to get to work is a 55-mile-an-hour freeway with no shoulder. So I can't do that. Would I like to? Yes. Is that the present situation I find myself in? No. As a result, I have chosen to buy a small, efficient, plug-in hybrid car. It's a Chevrolet Volt. You can buy one used for a reasonable amount of money. It's about the size of a Toyota Corolla, which should work for most people, not everyone. But the simple answer is if you are looking to retire early, the three biggest things you need to focus on are, in this order, housing, transportation, and partners. All right, so housing. If you live in a big, high cost of living city, you are inevitably going to have to pay more. Consider, if you have to pay more in housing, you should have to pay less in transportation. So public transit, if you live in a bigger city, should be an option. Cycling to work should be an option. Live close to where you work, that should help. Moreover, if you can tolerate having a roommate, not a bad idea. If you own a house, consider house hacking. For me, this is a 3-bed house, which is a lot more space than I need as one person. The only thing I would really want is to have the garage kind of beefed up, but I may sell my Volt and get a gas-powered car or an all-electric car, something like that in the future. We'll see. That's a different conversation. So transportation. Don't finance a car because cars are almost always, unless you're going and getting a classic and you really know what you're doing, cars are almost always depreciating assets. Don't finance depreciating assets. That's borrowing money to buy something that will be worth less over time. You don't want to do that. That's bad financial advice. Moreover, don't buy a stupid one. If you're using your car to commute and your car gets 10 miles to the gallon, reevaluate your choices. You are wasting money. Now, if you're okay with that, then hey, more power to you. But go for something compact, generally. Again, a Toyota Corolla is not the perfect vehicle, but it will work for vast majority of people. Better still, if you like motorcycles. Motorcycles cost less to operate, cost less to maintain, cost less to insure, and are much more fuel efficient. Not to mention, in a lot of states, it is legal to split lanes, which means you can cut through traffic at levels you couldn't in a car. Strongly recommend and advocate for more motorcycle usage. Countries where the average income is a lot lower, but people still need to get to work and commute in some of the most congested cities in the world. Vietnam is a very good example of this. In Ho Chi Minh City, it used to be Saigon, or Ha Long City, or Hanoi, people use motorcycles to get around. The most popular motor vehicle ever sold is the Honda Super Cub. The Honda Super Cub has sold more bikes, okay? The Honda Super Cub has sold more units than the Corolla, the Golf, the Model T, and the Beetle put together. There's a reason for that. It's affordable, it gets you where you need to go, it's unbelievably reliable, and it is cheap. Enough said. JSDF 554, thank you very much for the follow. Used to have a Geo Metro. It's a really great little car. Unfortunately, due to safety regulations, small, lightweight cars like that, or the Honda CRX, or the early 90s Civics can no longer be made. This is the regulatory burden and regulatory creep inching its way into the automotive industry. It's a very good metaphor for this is the term, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The Metro is a good little car. What it really is, because underneath, the Geo Metro is a Suzuki Swift. It's a perfectly acceptable car that was used very popular in East Asia, parts of Europe. There's no reason it can't get the job done. Now, if you have to travel long distances on a 75-mile-an-hour freeway, yeah, the Metro might not be the ideal move. But unless you live in rural Texas or like Montana, that's probably not what you're doing to get to work every single day. So, yeah, you'd probably be all right. I'm not saying go get a Metro, but that is a great example. If you are mechanically sound, because the newest Metros are now 20 plus years old, so you'd have to be able to maintain a car that's a little bit older like that. But they're bone simple to work on, so it's pretty easy to get parts. It's a great option. Nothing wrong with that. And yeah, the Metro, because of how small, how lightweight it was, yeah, it would get 60 miles to the gallon. The same thing with the original CRX, that'd get 50, 55. The Honda Civic VX from, I believe they sold that from 92 to 96. Really great example. Is a Toyota Tacoma a stupid investment? 99% of the time the answer is yes. The Tacoma does hold its value really well, but it doesn't hold its value so well that it is worth the increased costs to fuel the thing and maintain the thing and especially insure the thing. How about a GT350? Specialty cars like that can hold their value a lot more than most normal cars can. So if you want to consider the GT350 as an asset that will appreciate over time, I would call that more of a speculation than an investment, but you can justify it a little bit better than a Tacoma. Great question though, Disco Stick, actually. Unfortunately, most of the United States is not designed with public transit in mind, walking or biking. This is very true, G-Nith, and it's one of the biggest problems I have about the United States. You want to talk about where the United States truly does fall short. We have created what is called an obesogenic environment here. And this is why I talk about, right, financial independence, I talk about living frugally, cheaply, I talk about diet and fitness, it all connects. We've created an obesogenic environment in this country because we have artificially subsidized the cost of owning an automobile at the expense of any other form of transportation, be that walking, cycling, trains, buses, trams, you name it, all right? So as a result of that, we're built around the car. Driving a car is a sedentary activity. It means we, on average, and there is data to prove this, take about 3,000 to 4,000 steps less than the average European and 5,000 to 6,000 less than the average Japanese person. Japanese, of course, have the longest life expectancy on Earth, and it's mostly due to their great diet and exercise habits. So, what you have to do is pioneer the path. It's not going to be easy. When I lived in Greenville, at my old job in rural Texas, I would bike to work. I got fucking dip cans thrown at me sometimes. You just got to learn to be tough. It's not an easy road to hoe. You gotta learn to roll with the punches. Be that person that challenges people's ways of thinking. If you're looking to retire at 30, you're gonna have to embrace the unconventional, right? It's not normal. The average American 6 rate is a truly pathetic 6% of one's income. If you're saving 75% of your income, most people are gonna think you're crazy. A lot of people around here think I'm crazy, but the difference is I'm getting fucking results, they're not. They're going to be chained to their cubicle until they're 65. Or in the case of our generation, especially if Social Security goes tits up, 70, 75, 80. Do you really want to be chained to your cubicle until you're 80? I didn't think so. Toughen up. You have an unopened 40-ounce beer. Oh! Well, shoot. I mean, was it lobbed to you? Because, like, if you got a 40 thrown at you, at least that's something you can enjoy. You can party with. I love me a 40. How much do the Europeans and Japanese walk on average? I think the average American walks 4,500 steps a day. The average European something like 6,500, 7,000, and the average Japanese person's close to 10,000. Bro, free 40. Thoughts on the new Texas A&M free safety Mike Oxhard? Funny. Lab boy. See, lab boys, you being a troll in here too. God damn it. I caught that one a little bit too close, although it is Girardi time. Hang on. Piss time. There is actually an environmental reason that I do this, and I will explain because a lot of my audience missed it the last time. It read me from moving pickup truck in the dark. I saw it right about the time it hit me in the face. Yikes. Yeah, that's rough, man. Yeah, I've had a dip can thrown at me. I've never had a fucking 40, though. That's ridiculous. That shit is criminal. That's fucked up.
RC Arcanine, thank you very much for the first time chat. Welcome on into the stream. Yeah, and why is it too? It seems like there's two types of asshole drivers. They're almost always in trucks or they're in European luxury SUVs. Like think BMW X5 or like the Mercedes SUVs. So this is urine. Why am I pissing in a milk jug? A lot of people are gonna say, ew, gross. Yes, it is a little bit disgusting, but there is actually a method to my madness here. This is now about a quarter of the way full. I am going to fill the rest of it up with water, dilute it, and then I'm going to pour it on my compost pile outside. Human urine has a very high nitrogen content. As a result, it works, once you've diluted it, as green compost. This allows your compost pile to break down faster, and then you can use it to improve crop yields when you're growing your own vegetables. I think it's important to be a Renaissance man, and composting is a very great, easy start to do that. You're basically making fertile dirt. Hydration, yes, I am definitely dehydrated. It's close to 90 degrees in there by this point. It was 88 when we finished and 80% humidity with a real feel of 108. So 108 I think is like what, 42 degrees Celsius? It's also fantastic profit in the black market. No comment. Yes, I'm making this up. Well, welcome, RC Arcanine. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of stretching here. We are actually getting close to the end of the broadcast because I gotta get rolling down to the beach today. Averaged 11,656 steps a day this past week. Yes, but M. Lennon, I know where you live, roughly, and you live in one of the most walkable parts of the United States. Milk Quist redeemed make me flex a muscle or pose I picked for 1,500. Someone earlier was telling me my buys looked really good today, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the biceps pose. Do a T-pose. Redeem it. You have the channel points, lab boys. And if you don't, Disco Stick probably does if he's hit the follow button. All right, so we're gonna do a little stretching.
Reading material.
You packing up?
I'm cleaning out the car first and then I'll pack up.
That's good. Yeah, that car, you did need to do that. So good on you.
Yeah, I brought back the cutting board and the knife. And also some stuff
Oh, yeah.
for you to read that I found in my travels at work.
Baller. Actually, I gotta give a shout out to Dodger for one other thing here. Dodger's been doing a lot of the growing. She's got a green thumb and I don't, so it works rather well. Her watermelons are starting to come in. They're these wonderful, what's the cultivar?
Silver Yamato.
So they're these wonderful white flesh watermelons, and it's so good, okay? I'm not making this up. Even the rind is 100% edible. And you better believe I was chowing down on that as a little bit of sugar to get me going right before I worked out. So, yeah. Abnormal FX, welcome on in. Good to see you. Thanks for the first time chat. They do look really good today. I appreciate it. Thanks, Milk. Those are tasty. Yeah, so she's got one hell of a green thumb. I think you're also growing okra.
Potatoes.
Cotton, which I think that's more for the meme than anything else. Garlic, green onion, lots of different like 4 different types of basil, because the basil's good for keeping aphids away, which I didn't know. That's, again, she's got a lot more of the weirdly, you'd think the A&M guy has more agricultural knowledge. I don't.
Hey, I am from the Garden State, after all.
It's fair. But either way, that watermelon kicked all the ass. And if you guys like her garden, you actually can go sponsor her garden. I think this year's harvest has already been spoken for, but for next year, I'm sure you're probably going to go for more, and that means you'll probably have me build some more raised beds. But
Oh, absolutely. And if I have a bumper crop and you sponsor my crop, you get some of that. So I have a watermelon that's going to Maryland. I have potatoes going to Vermont. Unfortunately, one of my crops failed. That corn would have gone to Delaware, but I did get that person a consolation prize.
oh, did the corn fail?
The corn failed.
Damn. The tomatoes failed too. But,
Well, actually, no. There is a little tomato sprout. There is a second chance there.
oh, well, that's good. All right, well,
So
fingers crossed.
We might not have them until Labor Day, but
I've also been thinking, yep, Dodger is from New Jersey.
yep, born
y'all,
and raised.
go give her a follow. I show up sort of in the background on her stream. She does more interactive stuff, more like Jackbox. She also does like card tarot readings, which again, I think is hokum, but it is fun.
look, I'm Catholic. If you thought I was going to say anything else, you'd live with it. Anywho, yeah, she does have something of a pretty good green thumb, and I will say that's about the damn tastiest watermelon I've ever had. That being said,
I see you, M. Lemon. I see you.
M. Lemon's from another one of my A&M buddies.
I know.
I'll be honest, the New Jersey hate is overrated. You want to talk about a state that actually is a shithole? Let's talk about Maryland, because that's way worse. But that's a different rant. I know you got to carry on with the
Yep.
with the
Yep.
cleaning out and whatnot.
Yep. I'll also pack up the wagon and everything too.
Terrific, much obliged. So, I'm gonna do a little bit more stretching. Actually, who here would like to see me attempt to do the splits? This is always painful, but I know quite a large part of my audience likes it. And I believe, who is it said? Abnormal says, you're a long-time lurker. Fantastic, I love it, love it, love it. When people who have been watching my channel for months finally decide to come and talk. I adore that. Welcome, I'm very happy to see you, and thank you for saying something. If you'd like more, definitely come check out my Discord. Yeah, Dodger is she's from South Jersey, and I will say, actually, New Jersey's a bit like the Netherlands in the sense that it's a much smaller state that produces an outsized amount of produce. Blueberries, there's a certain type of spicy pepper that comes from it. It's really good on sandwiches. Join the Discord today, actually. Let's go! All right, yeah, splits hype. Let's do some splits. Nah, Dodger's pretty cool, though. Hey, Maryland is fine. I was about to say, fam, The Wire was filmed in Baltimore for a reason. Are you sure Maryland is fine? I graduated from a Maryland high school. I can shit talk Maryland, and I do shit talk Maryland all the time. Here we go. This always hurts. And I never know which way to do it, front side or back side, but I think back side is the preferred option. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. Mmm. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Actually feels pretty good, but it also hurts. It's one of those things where it goes both ways. I can't do the full splits. I'm not a woman. It looks painful. It was painful. Thank you very much for the follow, XOX Leon Love XOX. Thank you. We got 50 viewers. Need a minute on the rope. As a compromise, I'm gonna knock down the rest of the egg whites. I'm not going back out there right now. What high school in Maryland? It was 1 year. Okay, so I went to 3 different high schools actually because my family was Air Force. It was actually Severna Park in Anne Arundel County. It's a great school filled with spoiled rich kids. All right, see ya. Yo, Disco Stick, you heading out to the lake? Bro, don't be a bitch. Do a flip with Lab Boys, all right? I'm gonna call you a bitch if you don't. So don't be a bitch. All right. As a compromise, I'm not doing a minute on the rope because I don't want to go back out there right now. I will give you guys another 8 ounces of raw egg whites. We'll knock down the bottle. Let's go. Oh, these are so gross, but they're also really good for me. Not egg whites. Oh, Phoenix System, this was the time you decided to show up. Can you really show me how to stretch out your lower back and hips? I'd really appreciate you if you show me some ideas. Sure thing. Can you give Chad a motivational speech? First off, Chad, you need more protein. You're too fucking skinny. You look like you're fucking... No, I can't make that joke on here. I'm gonna say that later. Later. Here you go. Would show up when you chug egg whites. I'm sorry, I feel bad. I will give you the stretching advice because I know you don't like that. I'm gonna fill this up. I feel bad because I know that's something you don't like when I do, and you literally just showed up. That's kind of sucks. Anne Arundel County, I hear that. Like, okay, I showed up. I'll put it to you this way: if you're from Maryland, you'll understand why I didn't really fit in there. I showed up, and everybody kept mentioning this sport called lax, this thing called lax. I didn't know about it. I'm like, they kept talking about it because this is at football practice. Like, yeah, man, talked about the lax match over the summer, brah. And all, I'm like, yo, what is lax? And they're like, what do you mean, what is lax? Do you not know? And I'm like, I moved here from fucking Nebraska. What are you talking about? And they're like, oh, it's lacrosse. And I'm like, lacrosse is the coolest sport played by the biggest douchebags. That's what I would call lacrosse. If it weren't for the Laxer Bros, I would think it's a really cool sport. All right. That's so accurate. Is it right? It's a great, like, it's a freaking American Indian sport. Like, it was played here before white people came to the North American continent. Unfortunately, the worst kind of white person picked up the sport. Rich New England Lax Bros are the worst. They can't possibly be worse than Maryland Lax Bros. Maybe they are. I don't know. You had those guys. I feel for you. Exactly. See, I played football because that was just what I grew up with. Anyway, so what was Phoenix System asking for? Can you show me how to stretch out your lower back and hips? Okay. Yes. The first easiest stretch for your lower back and hips, okay, is the basic touch your toes. Now this is mostly going to hit your hamstrings, but it'll also stretch out your lower back, and it's a good gateway to all the other stretches. So, we'll start there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come back up. All right? That's pretty basic. I played rugby. Now, rugby is a man's sport right there. Rugby, okay, my favorite quote with rugby is, soccer is a gentleman's game played by hooligans. Rugby is a hooligan's game played by gentlemen. Rugby guys are awesome, okay? I love rugby. I only got to learn about it until, actually, the reason I learned about rugby was because one of my ex-girlfriends actually played on the Texas A&M women's rugby team, and that is a sport for people who actually have toughness. Rugby is what American football wishes it was. Anyway, so we're going to carry on. And by the way, Phoenix System, I am not an expert on flexibility and stretching. It's probably one of my weak points. But these are the exercises I found that I can tolerate and that I do fairly regularly. Okay? So the next one is actually, I think technically it's a yoga pose, but it's still pretty good. It's called the cat-cow, right? So the way this works is that you arch your back concave and convex in the way that a cow or a scared cat would. Let me explain by showing, okay? You go on your hands and knees like this, you look forward, and you try to bring your shoulder blades to your butt. This is the cow. 9, 10, relax. Then you do the cat. So a scared cat is the opposite. You're going to curl your spine and bring your chin towards your belly button. And I go for just a 10 count. And I'll do this maybe once, twice. Okay, next one. I'll split my knees a little bit wider, stay on my knees, come all the way down, and try to pull my hands back towards my body after fully extending them. And kind of sink back a little bit. All right,
And then the final one I'll usually do is the cobra pose. You lay on your belly, take your hands here, and you come up at the hips. Now, if you want to actually do these poses properly, I recommend looking at an actual YouTube video. I am not a yoga instructor, and I do not claim to be. Oh, those are some basic ones. I'll give you a couple more. Stars and bars. Hey, good to see you. Let me give you a shout out. Those are good. I could do these. My lower back is so painful. Let me give you a couple more, but let me shout out Stars and Bars. My main man from across the pond over there. Much love. Oh, mistyped it. There we go. Go give Stars and Bars a follow, y'all. He's pretty great. Even 50 viewers in here. Another one that I like. So all your muscles on your posterior chain are connected. What's the posterior chain? The posterior chain is generally referred to as the muscles that start around the lower half of your back, run through the glutes, and go all the way down to the calves. So that's all your lower back muscles, your glutes, your abductors and adductors, your hamstrings, and your calf muscles. All right? So if you stretch out one, you'd be well advised to stretch out the rest. So how would we start with that? So we'll lay on our back, okay? And this is really basic and simple, okay? Take your hands, put them underneath your knee here, and just try to bring your knee to your chest. I am not very good at this one, as you can tell. That's going to stretch out your hamstrings and your glutes a little bit. You can pass by if you need to.
Oh, wait.
You're just enjoying the view. Is that what this is?
I plead the fifth.
Thank you very much for the follow, whoever that was. I'll shout you out in a minute.
That was, Spin law.
All right. Then you do the same thing with both legs. Ooh. Again, those last few that I just showed you where you're laying on your back, those are going to stretch out your hamstrings and your glutes, but that may end up easing some of the tension in your back, okay? Spin Law, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. One other thing I should mention, Phoenix System, is if you're finding you have chronic and consistent lower back pain, it probably means you're not doing enough exercises to strengthen your abdominal muscles. It may well be that you are, but if you're not, if you don't normally do abs, and you can figure that out for yourself, I recommend the following exercises, okay? You can do any combination that you want, any amount that you want, any reps that you want, all right? I'll run through a couple basic ones here. Turn the camera down. Okay, couple real basic ones. All right, first is the jackknife. This one's pretty difficult, but you will find it works really rather well, okay? You lay down flat, feet on the floor, and you fold at the hips. That's a jackknife, all right? Similar to that, but perhaps a bit easier, the raised leg sit-up. All right? The bicycle sit-up. You should know this one. The V-sit. The Russian twist for your obliques. 6 inches. It's just you take your heels, get them 6 inches off the ground, keep your knees straight. Planks, I really don't think I need to show you planks. Same with side planks. Then basic sit-ups or crunches. Don't feel like I need to show you those either. And lower leg raises. These are very good for your lower abs, which often get neglected with a lot of these exercises. So keep your knees out in front of your hips and curl at the hips. Take your hands, bring them beneath your butt while it's up. Bring it back down. Those are some basic ones. It's not comprehensive, so that's how you get those abs of yours. No, it's not. Those are a very good basic way to build a little bit of core resistance. The way you want to get these abs is by getting in that fucking gym and doing squats. Nothing, no exercise is better for your abdominal muscles than putting some heavy ass weight on that squat bar, going down and up. All right? I'm sore from yesterday. Hit a squat rack if you want better abs. I really do believe that. Deads are excellent too. I don't find my abs are quite as activated during pull-ups, but a lot of people do say that. So if you find that pull-ups work your abs well, great. So getting ready to add out. Thank you very much, Stars and Bars. Always good to see you. Yeah, we're nearing the end of the stream too. Abs are on fire after I did those pull-ups. Baller, bro. Good. Again. All that egg whites and protein and shit. Find myself lacking in energy after work. You know, it's going to be different from person to person. You may want to consider it's probably compensating for less powerful lats, spies, back generally. It could be. There's no reason. If your abs are activating on an exercise, that's probably okay. For the most exercises, it is recommended to have your core activated. So I don't think that's a huge deal. I think you're just fine. There we go. Stability is king. That's true, especially for pull-ups. You want to make it a controlled motion, right? You want to really be squeezing them lats. You know, whether or not it's a narrow grip, right? The chin, cross grip. Although cross grip's going to be more bicep focused. A wide grip, right? You really want to work those lat muscles, those sort of slabs right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Of course. Always happy to give advice. That's what this channel's for. That is a lot to be said. Let me get a little bit of water here. Okay. Do we have any further questions? Who's that cutie in the background? Yo, Dodger, you got called a cutie. She was in some chick's stream last night. She was asking how to get toned. Toned is a bullshit word. Toned means nothing. That's cutie in my background, so to speak, is Dodger of Zion. She's also on Twitch. You can follow her. I've already shouted her out twice, so I'm not doing it a third time, but go look up Twitch, Dodger of Zion. She's my roommate. We're very good friends, and she also runs some really great stream. So, dude, I was in some chicks. Anyway, so I couldn't tell you how many people were telling her to use lightweight and legs only. This is actually something that really pisses me off, and it's something that is done to women, and this is, frankly, feminists get on this issue. Women are told that they should stay away from the heavy weights, and it's often told by other women that they should stay away from the heavier weights because they will get bulky. That's not how that works. Unless you are going absolutely balls to the wall or even maybe going on gear. If you're female, hey, thank you for the follow, 5 Luke. Appreciate it. If you want to get toned, you're right. You have to build muscle mass and decrease body fat to get more definition. When people say toned, what they really mean is lean. To get lean, you need to run calorie deficits. You need to eat enough protein to where you don't look emaciated. She kept saying how she doesn't want to get bulky, and there was just me and one other guy saying she won't get bulky on accident. Exactly. Wish I could put on 20 pounds of muscle. Shobi, here you go. Get this book. If you're serious. It'll work. You might not go for full 30 pounds unless you are really pushing it, but you'll gain 20 in 6 weeks. I did. I strongly recommend this. This book was released in the 1980s by Randall Strawson. Even when it came out, it was seen as obsolete. That doesn't change the fact that this is the routine advocated for in here and the diet advocated for in here. If you're trying to bulk, you need to run a calorie surplus, except that you're going to gain a little bit of fat too. This routine will provide you with, in 6 weeks on this program, I had better gains than I had seen since high school.
I strongly, strongly recommend this book. It's like $8 on Amazon, and I'm not getting paid to sponsor it. It's just that good. Lift heavy, eat heavy, and your body weight worth of protein of grams every day. Yeah, pretty much. I'm letting him pretty much hit the nail on the head. But particularly do squats, and lots of them. Now, if I could boil down the super squats routine, but really the book is worth reading. It's like an 85, 90 page book, and every page is worth the read. It's excellent. I strongly recommend using it. Let me go ahead and break down. So we had 16 ounces of egg whites. So far today I have had slice of watermelon, really good watermelon, 16 ounces of egg whites and protein powder. So that's 150 for the watermelon, 200 for the egg whites, that's 350 plus 340 for the protein, 690, nice, calories. That's 3 plus 48 for the egg whites, 51 plus 56 for the protein, 107 grams of protein, killer. Basically 8 grams of fat and around 55 grams of carbs. That's great, that's very good. I am actually going to be going to Rodney Scott's famous barbecue later tonight, so I know I'm probably not going to run much of a calorie surplus or much of a calorie deficit today, but I did the best I could in anticipation of that. Sometimes life is going to throw you opportunities or challenges where you're going to end up eating slightly less healthy food, and you just got to learn to live with it. This is also the reason, like, I'm not going to, like, professional bodybuilder, super chiseled, super super veiny, like single-digit % body fat, because you can do that, and I have a ton of respect for the guys that do. But generally speaking, as you get below 10% body fat, I'm nowhere near 10%, I should say. But as you get to that point, you start feeling worse, and that's no fun. 2 days in a row of no prep meals with beer and not so great food. Facts. It's barbecue. How do you turn down barbecue? Exactly. Now, barbecue, Texas does it the best, okay? Brisket is another level of barbecue, but right below that is Carolina barbecue. In particular, there are 3 kinds of sub-varieties of Carolina, and the best one is the South Carolina mustard base, and here is why. As someone of German descent, maybe this is where that comes from, but I really like mustard, and I really like mustard-based items. A good, slightly spicy, tangy mustard sauce. It's like the perfect blend between the thick Western North Carolina sauce is a bit too sweet. The thin, runny, vinegary Eastern North Carolina sauce is a bit too thin. Joji 7-Eleven, thank you very much. I think that South Carolina mustard base is perfect. And what really makes South Carolina barbecue special is the hash. And I love the story behind hash. Hash is basically, it's the mindset that I really espouse. It's reduce your waste and be efficient. Efficiency is the highest form of beauty. So what hash is, it's basically kind of a meat gravy that's made out of the parts of the whole pig that you couldn't put into the pulled pork. You mix that in with a slightly tomato-based sauce, but not a sweet one, the way you'd find in Western North Carolina, and you serve it over rice, and it's excellent. My expectations are super low up here, but damn, this place is actually pretty good. Smoked steak tips. Well, I mean, steak to me is not barbecue, but I miss having a backyard, my own barbecue smoker. Facts. Phoenix System, I will say you'd like Carolina barbecue then, or at least South Carolina. And okay, I should clarify here. When I say South Carolina barbecue sauces, the 3 types of Carolina barbecue sauces are not restricted to state lines. What do I mean by that? Well, Western North Carolina sauces, you can more or less split North Carolina right down the middle, sort of maybe where maybe more like Burlington or Chapel Hill is. And on the eastern side of that line, it's mostly going to be vinegar-based. On the western side, it's going to be more thick tomato-based. However, South Carolina is not all mustard-based. In what's called the uplands, right, where Clemson University is, Greenville, Spartanburg, Pickens County, Oconee County, that's going to be a lot more similar to the Western North Carolina thick tomato-based barbecue sauce. Then, in the Grand Strand, that's, Marion County, Horry County, Georgetown County, it's going to tend to be more of the pig Pickens style, which is the thin vinegar-based Eastern North Carolina sauce. The rest of the state, that's Columbia, the Low Country, Charleston, the Midlands, Aiken, Lexington, that's going to be your mustard based, and I think we do it the best. I do live in Aiken County for what it's worth. Financially independent in 669 days. Am I doing fire? I sure am. I will get there at age 29. I am currently 28. So great. Welcome on in, Calm DB. I can talk about that if you'd like. Similar to brisket, but definitely different. Super. Yeah, that's the other thing too. If you live in the Northeast, look, the Northeast can do some fabulous food. Oh my goodness. But barbecue just isn't that. The Northeast has some wonderful specialties, right? I've never been to New York City, but there are people that say, the water there that makes the pizza dough and the bagels just that little bit better. Seafood in New England is supposed to be very, very good. Maine has the lobster roll. Massachusetts has the clam chowder. I'm butchering that. I've never been to New England, so if you're gonna sue me for the bad accent there. New Jersey has probably the best Italian food anywhere. I mean, there's a reason The Sopranos was, but that's really good. Hoagies. Philadelphia's got, the cheesesteak's okay. I think the cheesesteak is slightly overrated, especially when people put Cheese Whiz on it, because that's a fucking abomination. Western New York, Buffalo is such an underrated city for food. You got wings. Everybody knows Buffalo wings. But beef on weck, that's one I actually haven't ever tried, but it looks so damn good. You have crab cakes from Maryland, and I love shitting on Maryland more than anyone else, but proper Chesapeake Bay blue crab or soft shell crab sandwiches, oh, mwah, beautiful. DC, you can get basically any food from anywhere. There's a reason for that. Embassy Row is sitting right there, which means you're gonna have people from literally every country on earth there, apart from maybe North Korea, and North Korea doesn't really have food anyway, so there you go. I wish you could do fire, but I just don't earn enough that it would be viable. I would say it's possible to earn, I would say fire is very much viable as long as you make more than about $40,000 or $50,000 a year. And in this country, it is very easy to make that much money. It may not necessarily be in a job field that you wanted to do, but you can do it nonetheless. If you guys are curious about the numbers on what all the numbers are for financially independent, how much I make, I personally believe that hiding incomes is a clever way for corporations to suppress wages, so I'm not really a fan of it. So you guys, if you ask, I will tell you all those individual numbers. But right now, I think 73% of the way to financial independence, 74%. It really kind of swings based on the stock market, because most of my money is invested in it. Adrian is found. Welcome to the chat. Thank you very much. Glad to have you aboard. And if you guys like what I do and you want to talk more and you want more details, I've got loads and loads of great information on this on my server. Wage transparency is so important. Absolutely. I'm not normally a fan of government intervention, but I am a believer that companies should not be able to punish workers that share their salaries. I do feel quite strongly about that. It's a very obvious but yet sneaky way for corporations to suppress wages, and that pisses me off. I'll go back to university and study something more useful than I did. I will admit, when I chose my degree based on the fact that it had very good economic prospects. Mechanical engineering, being a very broad degree, has applications in defense, energy production, HVAC, automotive, you name it. There are mechanical engineers everywhere. As a result, the unemployment rate is very low for mechanical engineers. Do you know who Joe is? Not the Joe Mama. I was about to say, is this a Joe Mama joke? But Joe, there are probably millions of people named Joe. You're going to have to be more specific. If you have any questions about fire, we are kind of wrapping up here. It is getting to about Joe Static. I don't know who Joe Static is. No. The only Joe I know on Twitch is Joe Workouts, and she actually rated me yesterday. She's awesome, and she's like professional kind of level bodybuilder. She's really positive. She has like magazine competitions, so I'm gonna give her a shout out because Joe is awesome. Go give her a follow. If you somehow found this channel without finding her, go give her a follow and tell him BullMuscle sent you. Adrian, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. Y'all, we have seen a massive uptick in followers today. This has been a terrific day in terms of views. At this rate, we're closing in on 1,500, which would be really great. I'm hoping we can hit 2,000 by the end of the year. I figured that was some kind of joke. Funny. Haha. I found more gym streamers because of her. Yeah, Joe Workouts is amazing. She supports the community, and she's big. Like, she's got a lot more of a following than anybody else does. She's a partner, but she's still very relatable. She keeps it real. She helps, she'll raid smaller streamers and help us get off the ground. So I have a lot of respect for someone who goes and does that kind of thing. Well, I was talking about the man I was talking about died today. Oh, my condolences. I didn't realize. Probably you being shirtless in the thumbnail helps for getting views and follows. Yeah, I mean, look, I actually stay shirtless for practical value. I live in South Carolina, and my garage out there is not air conditioned. At present, the last time I checked, the real feel outside is 108 degrees. That's 42 Celsius. So I do have a pretty decent excuse. It's hot and humid here. This is summer, and this is July in South Carolina. This is the hottest month of the year. Sue me, all right? I think that's more than fair. How tall am I? I'm 6'3" or 190 centimeters. Good question. Yep. Well, there you go. You nailed it. Yeah, I'm 6'3". Sure, we're close. Anyway, so do we have any other questions about diet, exercise, money matters, investing, financial independence? This is sort of the Q&A section of the stream. Otherwise, I'm gonna probably look to raid someone. We got a huge audience. This is awesome. I never have like 40 plus people in here. This is really cool. I'm only 5'5". It's kind of sad. People say that's good for the gym. Actually, it is. Yeah, Short Kings, you guys can get stronger quicker. That is accurate. Also, I have a problem with the people who, right? If you're judging a potential person based on their height, that's so fucking shallow. Like, you should not be sitting here and saying, "Oh, I'm only gonna date someone over 6 feet tall." That's dumb. Frankly, you're cutting out a massive amount of people that deserve to be judged for who they are, right? Judge people for what's in here and in here. Don't judge people for how tall they are. It's fucking stupid. 91-ish in Texas right now. Don't know the real feel yet. Hey, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I moved here to South Carolina from the great state of Texas. I love Texas. I miss large parts of it. Whereabouts in Texas are you there, if you don't mind me asking?
Did they say Mission?
No. I don't know about getting stronger quicker. Well, yeah, okay, so this is a physics property, right? So let's take the bench press. You bench press, you're coming down, you're coming up. You're shorter, you have shorter arms, right? As a result, you're gonna start here, or you're gonna start here, right? But your arms are gonna be locked out, right? I have long arms, so, right, as a result of that, you're going to be doing less work, right? The bar is gonna come off, and work is a force multiplied by distance, right? If you're going 2 inches less per rep, that's less work you're having to put in to provide the same amount of force because it's traveling a shorter distance. So there are benefits if you're shorter. It's the reason a lot of the world's strongest men types are these stocky 5'6", 5'8" dudes who are built like brick shithouses and could kick the absolute living crap out of me. I'm never ever going to be as strong as guys like that. Houston, oh God, so I actually had an internship in Houston back when I was in college. It was actually for a subcontractor to Johnson Space Center. I have a strong distaste for that city. If San Francisco is the poster child for everything wrong with liberal America, Houston is the poster child for everything wrong with conservative America. And yes, I know Houston is nominally run by the Democrats. It's not really the point. Houston was designed solely around the car. It's solely single-family housing pretty much everywhere. It's endless amounts of sprawl. The city's incredibly polluted. The city gets absolutely destroyed by hurricanes when it comes in because they paved over the drainage system of bayous that kept the city from sinking. The city is actually sinking at a rate almost as bad as New Orleans is sinking, and New Orleans is a dead city walking, which sucks because New Orleans is awesome, but I have some serious issues with Houston. Houston pisses me off. Houston's the stinky, sweaty armpit of the region. It's actually part of Cancer Alley, too. Cancer Alley stretches from Gulfport, Mississippi, all the way to Freeport, Texas, and it's where a large chunk of the nation's oil and gas refineries are, and also chemical plants are. If you ever travel on Interstate 10 through what I would call the heart of Cancer Alley, that is Lake Charles, Louisiana, roll down your windows and smell it. Dodger got to experience that for the first time a few months back. What did you think of Lake Charles? Oh, she's playing games.
It was fucking putrid is what it was.
There we go. Okay, she heard me anyway. I don't date anyone taller than 6 foot. I would say that's not necessary either. Height should not be a prerequisite for dating people. How about that? I've dated girls who are 5'3". For what it's worth, I don't normally really bring it up on stream because it's not my style. I swing both ways. So, yeah. I'm in the city. I'm planning on moving elsewhere when I can. Understand that. I love rural South Carolina. I never thought I would, but I have fallen in love with the place. I mean, for God's sake, I bought a house here. That should tell you a whole lot about how much I like it. I always told people if you're driving to Houston, you know you're about an hour away, you can smell it. Yep. The second, for me, I can always tell, it's always at the Waller County Buc-ee's. Because I'll always stop there. Whenever I lived at College Station, I went to A&M. You'd stop on 190 right before Navasota and Hempstead. You'd have the Waller County line Buc-ee's. That's my first experience with Buc-ee's, and Buc-ee's is fucking amazing. But yeah, that's where, to me, Houston begins. And the fact that you can go from there all the way to, as near as makes no difference, Galveston Island and be in the same city is insane to me. That's fucked up. Just got to build a safety net so I could build experience in public service before I head out of the state. Absolutely, man. Well, fantastic. Yeah, it's about where the refinery smell hits. Exactly. And that's not just refineries, it's chemical plants just as much. Houston has a huge chemical industry. There's a reason it's called petrochemicals, but it's not just, petroleum. Chemical engineering is a huge, huge deal here. Thing about being bi, I was specifically talking about tall men. It's just not something I'm into. Well, you know what? That's fine. That's your preference. For me, height would be something that's so far down on the list. Like, I would say my minimum is probably like 5 foot. If you're shorter than 5 foot, I feel like I could date you, but I feel like, and I can't get too explicit here because this is Twitch, but I feel like it might make things in the fun zone a little bit physiologically difficult. Let's go with that. Leaving you alert. Well, I appreciate it, Abnormal. 67 kilograms, benching 93 kilograms, or 206 pounds after 10 months of training. Good. Is that a 1 rep max, Adrian? I would say if it's a 1 rep max, it's good. If you're repping that, it's excellent. Especially if you've only been training for 10 months, dude, you're killing it. Very nice. Yeah, benching 1.5 times your body weight's pretty good. I weigh about, trying to convert this into metric, I think I weigh 208, which is like 94 kilograms, and then my max bench is 355, which is what, 161 kilograms, I think. Give the amazing work in your stream. Thank you. Shobi, for me, after thickness is more important than height, not gonna lie. Okay, so this is actually an important thing to talk about. One of the things, if y'all want to know my dating preferences, I feel like this is an adult channel, we can talk about that. One of the things that matters to me is, if you want to be my partner, can you keep up with me? I'm not a professional athlete, but I am in good shape and I take my health very seriously. If you can't, if you're not going to want to go and take long walks or hikes with me, go ride bikes, come lift, it's going to be a problem. So if you are into, keeping yourself in shape, eating right, that matters way more to me than any physical attribute. But predictably, if you're in good shape, see, the difference is, you can't control how tall you are. Don't drink alcohol before age 15, obviously, and you'll grow to your normal height. But you can't control how tall you are. You can control how in shape you are. And that's important. right? And this is one of the things I focus on as a general philosophical touchstone of my streams. Stoicism. Keep the locus of your control focused on just that, what you can control. Don't worry about that which is out of your control, okay? It matters way, way more to focus on, hey, did I eat right today? Hey, did I get enough sleep? Hey, did I exercise? Hey, am I moving? Is my body moving in the way I want it to? And the same thing applies with your career or your savings rate or any other goal, any other achievement you're trying to strive towards in life. And I'm short because of jeans. Maybe it's, bro, your bench max is literally my deadlift max with horrible form. My deadlift is actually not as good though. My deadlift is only 435 because I'm tall, and also because I suck at deadlift. But I am a recovering bench bro. Bench has always been my favorite. I would say though, that was at the end of a bulk. Right now, I'm really kind of at the tail end of a cut here. I would guess I'm probably 330, 335 on bench, just as if I had to just out of the blue pick a number, like what I could do right now, especially after a push workout. Yeah, I wouldn't say 5'9" is short. Yeah. I don't really know how to deadlift. People say that long legs are perfect for deadlift. They can be, they don't have to be. So, okay, for deadlifting, Adrian, I would recommend, if you can find a hex bar or a trap bar, that may help you with your form to begin, right? Because instead of worrying about the bar being forward and backwards biased, you kind of reduce that, you keep it steady, and you can focus on the hip hinge, right? You focus on really driving with the hips. With conventional deadlift for me, I do an opposite grip whenever I start getting less than about 6 reps. So for me, that's usually north of 315 pounds. And I will switch which hand's underhand, which hand's overhand, but consider using an opposite grip. The other one I would recommend is use a belt. Belt will keep your lower back more neutral. It'll keep your spine more rigid, right? So there we go. So yeah, you deadlift, you come down here, you come up. I can feel my triceps cramping up every time that's cramping. Ouchie. Ooh. If you want deadlift tips and such, come check out my Discord because I've got really useful pinned messages in the fitness channel that should help you with that. 53 viewers, this is awesome. Dodge, how are we doing on packing up wise?
I'm pretty much ready to go. Whenever you are.
So everything's packed up and the car's cleaned out?
I cleaned out the car so you have a place to sit. I put the wagon in. I packed up the chair. I just need to throw my bag of toiletries is in there. I just need to throw my clothes bag in and we're good to roll.
All right, then I need to pack up. All right, well then in that case, just started to do deadlift. I'm finding a bit of pain in my lower back. I would say, again, keep your form, really focus on form. Ask other people to make sure, hey, can you check to make sure my spine doesn't start to round? I'd recommend a belt. I would say, let's see, gotta go, boss. All right, Phoenix System, it's always good to see you in here. What's on the floor there? Are you talking about that over there? Just some generic detritus that my roommate has.
I need to get better about that.
That's okay, yeah. This is facts. Yeah, no, this is, I hate the Instagram, everything must be clean all the time kind of posts. There's a reason I don't have social media really apart from Twitch and from my Discord. Now, let's see here. Let's look for someone to raid. We've got, 47 viewers. This is awesome. I really am very grateful for everyone who's come out, but I do need to get rolling to the beach. So let me talk about the schedule coming up. I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I normally do, but I will be down in Kiowa Island here in South Carolina. However, Tuesday morning, I will be live, probably playing old school RuneScape as a rest stream. You can come on in. We can talk 4th of July. We can chill. We can relax. We have a good time. I think, I saw Supernatural came in here earlier. I see Zachbot. I see Celtsy. Celtsy came in last stream, though. I'm going to flip a coin. I don't have a coin, so I'm gonna use this cap from Pepper Grinder. All right. Heads, tails. Heads is Supernatural, tails is Celtic. It's heads, so we're gonna go to Supernatural. Who we're gonna raid? We've been going for over 3 hours at this point, and man, 50 viewers is freaking wild. Do you guys have any other questions before we go? I'll give y'all you get 15 seconds. Any final questions before we go and we raid? The raid message is going to be Bull Rush, by the way. Any questions? Going once. Y'all got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and raid. Where are you headed? I am headed to,
Kiowa Island.
yeah, I'm headed to Kiowa Island and Charleston for tonight. One question, how to make you ditch the beach and stream more instead? Well, fine. All right, Shobi, if you're going to say that, and if you guys really want to support me, I don't normally advertise this, but there you go. If you wish, I have a tip page right here. I recommend doing that over Twitch subscriptions because subscriptions, Amazon takes 50% of the money you send. If you pay $5 for a subscription, the streamer gets $2.50. If you use the tip page, I get 100% of that. N3N6, thank you for the first time chat. Welcome on in. So there you go. If you really want to keep me off of the beach, keep me streaming a bunch, really the answer is the viewer count has been amazing today. It's usually never this high, and keep, advertise my stream, come out, watch, hang out, keep talking, make me stream longer. The more people are talking, the more I can feed off of chat, the more it makes me want to continue streaming. So there you go. There's your answer. How you doing? Thanks, someone like you. Always good to see you. How am I doing? I'm doing great. We just finished a push day. It was pretty good. I've got to hit the road though, so we're gonna go and I think it was Supernatural we were choosing to raid. So let me make sure she's not just about to end. She isn't, it looks like. Wonderful. All right, so I'm going to hit the raid button. But before I do, I'm going to say thank you to all the new followers we had. This is a huge, huge follower boost. Adrian is found, Joji711, 5 Luke, Jinxit, Svinlaw, X Love, Leon Love XOX, LEB, Lumina Streams, Peck Bounce. Oops, that was a command. Friendzone, Lab Boys TV, thank you for the bits. As always, go check out him on YouTube. Disco Stick, thank you for the bits. Thank you for the follow. Carl Dude, Gizmometer, Pape R00, Cross 54, Archangelsk, Fireblade Alpha, Tahani Time, City on Foot, Weed and Speed, Granola Dust, Christy 92, Demon Suya. Thank you very much for the follow. That is a lot of followers right there. So you recommend me to come to America to complete my studies? Come talk to me more about that on the Discord. I don't really have time to dive into that today. All right, we're gonna go raid Supernatural Rider. Thank you, all of you, for coming out for the follows. John Deeds, thanks for the bits. Lab Boys TV, thank you for the bits. Share, thank you for the bits. As always, y'all, I can't thank you enough for the support. It's fantastic. As always, make good decisions. Those good decisions, those form your habits. Those habits, those form your values. Those values forms an ethos. That ethos can be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Come in for the hug. Let's go raid. Alrighty. And raid.